dry out tomorrow. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. Meanwhile, the weather system moving in. Residents in Cherokee County will likely be without a key warning system.
Cherokee Emergency Management and its maintenance vendor have been working on a solution to an outdoor siren system outage, which is affecting all 58 outdoor sirens in the county. Assuming it is not resolved before the arrival of Arthur, residents are encouraged to purchase a NOAA weather radio from local retailers or sign up for the county's text alert system. And, of course, you can download the WSB radio app to get all the latest information, including real-time alerts and warnings. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
And one other note about the weather. Today's FIFA World Cup match at Mercedes-Benz Stadium between Czechia and South Africa is on for noon. But FIFA says it'll be monitoring the weather and the potential impact on the FIFA Fan Fest down at Centennial Olympic Park. For now, though, all activities are a go. If you plan on heading down there today, you can do it as of now. We're learning more details about the ceasefire deal between the U.S. and Iran to end the conflict in the Middle East. That includes the state of Iran's nuclear program under the new agreement.
Iran reaffirms that it shall not procure or develop nuclear weapons. Reaffirms because it's the same promise Iran made in the first line of the nuclear deal struck with President Obama. But unlike the Obama deal, this agreement with Trump makes no other nuclear commitments, no plan to dispose of its highly enriched uranium.
Correspondent Mary Bruce says the agreement calls for continued negotiations over the next 60 days, although President Trump admits it may take longer to hammer out a long-term agreement. Iran also agreeing to reopen the Strait of Hormuz without charging a toll, but that topic may also be up for discussion over the next 2 months. While Cobb County police continue to investigate a violent home invasion late last week, an arrest has been made in that case hundreds of miles away. Sergeant Eric Smith says they identified 20-year-old Stephen Hilton as the person who broke into a house along Marietta Street in Powder Springs early last Friday.
The homeowners woke up to a masked intruder in their house who fired a shot when they confronted the suspect.
The suspect, Hilton, a Michigan native, then fled to western Ohio, where he was taken into custody by local police there. Among the many prices that we've seen a surge in recent months and years, auto prices, which will likely remain high for quite some time.
Consumer choice is what's driving prices up, says Sean Tucker, managing editor for Kelley Blue Book.
Luxury cars are selling very well. Luxury trims of large trucks are selling very well, and that's pulling the average up.
He says he doesn't expect prices to come down much at all, as automakers are cutting production of models under $25,000 and increasing production of new models of prices over $60,000. He says this as automakers are all chasing after the same sort of buyer in this K-economy. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
It is 9:03. The Mark Arum Show begins in less than 2 minutes. But first, live team coverage of traffic and weather. We start with some of those pricey cars trying to make their way along the road. In the WSB 24-hour traffic center, it's Ashley Frasca.
There are a lot of them trying to move out of Gwinnett County. Judd on 85 southbound had a few center lanes blocked with a stall at Indian Trail, and police and Hero assisted that. Now on the right shoulder, lanes are back open for that ride into Norcross. Construction crews pretty active up in Canton. They're blocking the entire left side of the ramp coming from Riverstone Parkway onto 575 southbound, so a little bit of slowdown there, and a lot of flashing lights on the shoulder with an earlier crash on the West Freeway, I-20 westbound at Riverside Parkway. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Heavy rain and thunderstorms rolling through this afternoon through late tonight. As much as 1 to 3 inches of rainfall likely for the metro Atlanta area, as well as wind gusts around 40 miles per hour. Today's high is 85, lows tonight in the low 70s, drying out but still cloudy for tomorrow, high around 82.
77 degrees right now in Villa Rica, 78 in Clarkston, 78 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:05. More news at 9:30, breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
Judd, who was the college football broadcaster used to go, "Whoa, Nelly"?
Keith Jackson.
Keith Jackson.
Yes.
I'm gonna quote the legend Keith Jackson. I'm assuming rest in peace to Mr. Jackson, but whoa, Nelly, we got a big show for you today. All over the Memorandum of Understanding signing by President Trump at Versailles yesterday. We're going to go to Jerusalem, check in with Jordana Miller from ABC News. We're going to go to D.C. and get a reaction from Stephen Portnoy. That is a massive story. Batul Zamani heading the Iranian group here in Georgia, is going to join us live in just a couple of minutes and see what she thinks and what Iranian citizens think of this. Because of the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding, oil prices are plummeting, which is phenomenal news to every single person that doesn't have an EV. We're going to talk to Bloomberg's expert on the oil and gas industry and see what the future is for oil prices and, selfishly, what we are going to be paying at the pump. I believe, Deborah, the national average for a gallon of gas has dropped below $4.
Below $4.
Yeah,
now.
it's under $4 now. We'll see if that keeps dropping. And it's going to be a while before gas prices catch up to the declining oil prices. But certainly when we're trying to, save every buck and penny we can right now, it'd be good news to see that the prices at the pump are falling. Deborah's got tickets to see Bob Dylan to give away, but maybe at least the highlight for me today on the show. How can you not just start dancing to this song? Gloria Estefan is going to join us live after the news at 11:30. She's in town. She's got a show at the Alliance Theater. Should I not bring up the Miami Sound Machine?
I think you can bring up the Miami Sound Machine. She's done a little bit of everything now.
This is at a wedding. I don't know if they play the song at weddings anymore.
Conga?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I fly out to the dance floor.
I went to the show last weekend. It was great.
Oh, excellent. So Gloria Estefan is going to join us live. I'm very excited about that. Right after the news at 11:30 here on the Mark Arum Show. Let us start, though, with our team coverage of the Memorandum of Understanding. Been seeing a lot of backlash, and apparently President Trump not too happy that he's not getting full support from Republicans or Democrats on this. Betsy Klein at the White House.
And when the president was in France yesterday holding this press conference, he had one very specific goal, and that was to convince a skeptical public, including Republicans, that this deal that he had reached with Iran was both different from the Obama-era Iran deal and a good deal for the United States. Now, he says that it's going to prevent Iran from procuring or producing a nuclear weapon, and that it will reopen the Strait of Hormuz. The president's seeking to defend the waivers that allow Iran to export oil and the provision that commits the U.S. and regional partners to developing a $300 billion reconstruction and economic development fund that he says the U.S. will not provide any money to. But he also said very revealing comments that he is in part signing this agreement to avoid economic catastrophe by ending this conflict. He said if it had gone on any longer, it could have led to that, and also said that he didn't want to be Herbert Hoover, of course, referring to the U.S. president who presided over the Great Depression. But the president signing a hard copy of this agreement last night during a dinner at the Palace of Versailles before returning to Washington overnight. What's unclear now is whether this deal has actually started that 60-day clock for the more technical discussions on Iran's nuclear material. The president has suggested himself that that deadline is flexible. Meanwhile, the White House fielding new criticism about this deal, including in Iran, where one newspaper says that the U.S. has suffered, quote, a glorious defeat, and from lawmakers, including Senator Ted Cruz, who warned it could be a mistake, as well as Senator Bill Cassidy of Louisiana, who has sparred with the White House recently. He said in a post to social media that it could be the worst foreign policy blunder in decades. Now, Vice President J.D. Vance is expected to travel to Switzerland, where he is going to meet with Iran as well as mediators Pakistan and Qatar. They are going to have initial talks about implementation of this deal, according to the Swiss.
Betsy Klein at the White House this morning. The Republican criticism stretching down to 95.5 WSB. Eric Erickson went at length yesterday on his show and on Twitter, just basically, I think he posted total surrender. So a lot of criticism about this Memorandum of Understanding. What about the folks in Iran, both in Iran and Iranians here in Georgia, joining us live on the Mark Arum Show? Very happy to have back on us with us the president of the Iran-American Community of Georgia, Batul Zamani. Batul, good morning. As always, thank you so much for your time.
Good morning. Thank you for giving me opportunity to talk to you.
All right, so I need to get your reaction. You and I have talked, about Iran for a long time, going back to the protest against the regime. What is your main reaction to this Memorandum of Understanding?
Yes, the people of Iran want peace. They don't want war, bloodshed, or instability. It's been a long time that the people of Iran is presenting no war, no appeasement, and then the third option. Just recognize the Iranian resistance and Iranian, people to defend themselves against this tyranny. And the reality is that, both Sheikh, who is a religious dictatorship, and son of the Shah have sought to use war for their own political goals. The ruling clerics have long used conflict in the region and crisis to preserve their grip in the power. At the same time, the Shah's son has presented war and foreign intervention as a path back to the power, hoping that Iran's future could be handed to him on the silver platter. But what Iranian people want, there are 2 executions yesterday. They are asking that in the peace, talking, the human rights should be one of the talk, that Iranian regime has killed 700 people in last 2 months, in the last year, since the start of this year. So I don't know if you have seen the 6 member of MEK that they have sing a song in Qazal Hisar, prison.
No.
And yes, that was viral. 6 member of MEK, they sing a song for in support of the resistance, and they said, "You can kill us, but you cannot kill the flame."
Let me jump in for a second, because I think you and I have been on the same page for day one that the best case scenario for us in Iran would have been a regime change and a path forward to a democratic Iran. This memorandum of understanding doesn't seem that that's going to be an option in the near future.
Yes. I don't know if you heard or not. Last week, student uprised for one day to show the world that if it is peace, we are still, the nightmare of Iranian regime is Iranian people, is not foreign intervention, is not foreign war, because they know that the Iranian people has the organized resistance who is fighting with them since 1981, and since first they become into the revolution, and we do have the biggest gathering, 100,000 of the people will have it in June 20th. Actually, I'm going to go to the Paris for June 20th. This is the same time in 1981 on June 20th that 500,000 people uprised to be against the Iranian regime, and Iranian regime suppressed them and killed so many of them. And in 1988 massacre, he executed over 30,000 political prisoners. So the Iranian regime is afraid of Iranian people and their resistance.
Still, even after this.
In the war, the bomb was coming to Iranian regime. And what Iranian regime did, execute. Every 3 hours, Iranian people execute. So this is going to tell the world that the Iranian regime is not afraid of the foreign war. The Iranian regime is afraid of their own people.
Interesting. Batul Zomani, president of the Iranian American Community of Georgia, joining us live on the Mark Arum Show. The resistance, you mentioned the number one thing that the Iranian people want is peace. Do you think that they feel maybe let down by the United States? Because we heard President Trump, say many times, even before the war, that, hey, America will have your back. This signing of the memorandum of understanding, it doesn't seem like that assistance will be there for the protesters moving forward.
Yeah, but the protesters, in Iran, regardless of backing up of the war, they will continue to have the resistance. The resistance unit is still fighting with this regime. From the day first, the Iranian people, they did not want a war. They said that the war is not the answer. Do not appease this regime. Iranian people, with their own resistance, they have the power to get rid of this regime. If you remember, right before the war started, the Iranian people, they went out, millions of them, and they chant against this regime. An Iranian regime execute and open fire on a street.
It was bloodbath, total bloodbath,
yes, bloodbath, yes. So with all of that said, Iranian regime knew, and they are 50,000 political prisoners in the prison right now that Iranian regime said that they're going to execute them all. So all of these, when you put it together, you realize that Iranian regime is not afraid of any foreign intervention, anything. They don't want peace in the first place. They didn't want the peace because the peace is going to bring the nightmare for them.
The revolution.
And nightmare is revolution.
Let me ask you this, Batul, because of this memorandum of understanding, sanctions lifted on Iranian oil, they can start selling it right away. There's billions of dollars there, up to $300 billion could be funneled back to that regime. Do you trust the regime with those billions of dollars? Do you think they'll use them appropriately to build back all of this destruction, or are they going to use that money to keep the people down and still fund terrorist organizations like Hezbollah and Hamas?
Yes, so let me go back to the history that President Obama gave them so much money. What happened? Their proxy become more and more in the region. Giving money to Iranian regime, it means that we are buying the proxies, more proxies. The Iranian regime, they don't care for Iranian people. And they don't care for what is happening to Iranian people. So, unfortunately, the money is not the answer. The only answer is that be firm with this regime. This regime is scared of being firm. And that's why this regime is really frightened of Iranian people because under resistance. Mrs. Mariam Rajavi said in her speech, the president-elect of Iranian National Council of Resistance, she said that, we are hoping this peace will be more toward of the third option, which is recognized of the Iranian resistance, Iranian people, and, for them to have the right to be against this religious dictatorship. Because with this regime, you cannot go only chant. You have to have the weapon in your hand to fight back with this regime.
Batul, final quick question. I'm so sorry, running out of time. The chief Iranian negotiator said on Iranian state TV that Iran had achieved complete victory over both the United States and Israel. Do you agree? Is this a complete victory for Iran?
No, of course not.
No, okay.
Iranian regime is always saying that we have a victory over everything. If you look at the history of Iranian regime talking, they always said that we have a victory. That is not true. The Iranian regime is very weakened, and the appeasement of this regime is not going to take us anywhere. We need to, when we are talking in the peace negotiation, the human rights should be first thing that we put in the table in front of the Iranian regime. Yesterday they execute two young, resistance units who have been uprising at the time of the, bloodshed that they had in Iran.
That's my biggest fear. I mean, we'll go in depth, and I'll explain what I think and what I want in the future. But always great to talk to you. Batul Zamani, president of the Iranian American community of Georgia. Still to come, we'll go to Jerusalem and the nation's capital. Reaction to the MOU, the Memorandum of Understanding, and how it's going to impact us here in Georgia. 9:20 on the Mark Arum Show. A little tardy to the party. Got to check the ride around town. Hello and good morning to the incomparable Ashley Frasca.
Hey, Mark. Good morning to you. A stalwart reported in the right lane, 85 south past Duluth Highway, and the ride crowds in from there to trouble now in the HOT lane just before Jimmy Carter Boulevard. And look out for construction in Canton ramping onto 575 south from Riverstone Parkway. Traffic brought to you by Air Conditioning Specialist. Ready for summer? Call Air Conditioning Specialist. Get a professional AC tune-up for $59. Call 478-COMFORT ACS. Your comfort is their specialty. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
We've all been there.
Bumper to bumper all the way back before.
Counting the minutes before we know we're going to be late because we couldn't count on a traffic app.
Crash knocks out 4 left lanes, including the express lane.
There is one thing you can count on. Triple Team Traffic on WSB.
3 right lanes shut down. We know the highways. We know the streets. And we know the shortcuts.
Avoid the area by taking Buford Highway as an alternate route.
And all you need to do is listen.
More experience.
More reliable. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Triple Team Traffic.
95.5 WSB. How Atlanta gets there.
Absolutely nobody likes them. We call them every name in the book. Palmetto bugs, water bugs, smoky browns, tree roaches, German cockroaches, but a roach is a roach by any name, and you want them gone. Hey, it's Mark Arum here from my friends at Breda Pest Management. In Georgia, you can't avoid roaches. They're simply a part of life. They're everywhere. So either get used to roaches or you better get Breda. Protect your home and family from those vile, nasty, crunchy, whatever you want to call them, bugs. And if your company has stopped coming inside your home, Breda's got your back. They do it the right way, protecting the outside and inside of your home. It's the roaches inside you want gone, so let Breda in and keep those roaches out. Breda Pest Management, they handle bugs and critters like roaches or whatever you call them. Get started at BREDAPest.com.
Breda. Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
The best trips are the ones you share. So get the whole family together to hike the trails, walk alongside dinosaurs, enjoy thrill rides at Dollywood, relax in a lazy river, and cheer for dinner shows, all in Pigeon Forge. Just visit the Great Smoky Mountains for incredible adventures and unforgettable memories that everyone will want to be a part of. Join the fun and plan your summer trip today at mypigeonforge.com.
A family office is a team built to handle the 3 biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm, under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today, 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz, and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no, and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Hurt in a crash? Now you're in pain, missing work, and your car's out of commission. Call the accident attorneys at Sweet James. They help you get medical care, handle your case, and fight for the money you may need to get your life back. Pay nothing until they win. Call for a free case review at 800-9-MILLION, 800-900-000, and sweetjames.com.
Just call Sweet James at 1-800-9-MILLION. your accident attorneys.
Don't ignore cracks around your windows, doors, or in your bricks. It could be a symptom of foundation trouble.
Hi, I'm Mark Beckham, owner of Atlanta Ramjack. Foundations are all we do, so we fix it right the first time. I'm proud to have the most experienced technicians that specialize only in foundation repair.
Ramjack will properly diagnose your issue and only use the highest quality products. Google Atlanta Ramjack for your free estimate.
Ramjack. And so we sentenced me to a life of ease, taking care of old Red.
926 on the Mark Arum Show. Happy 50th birthday. The big 5-0 to Blake Shelton, country music singer, vocal coach on The Voice. Wonder how he's celebrating his 50th.
He is married to Gwen Stefani.
Well, he's having a great 50th then. You remember how I celebrated my 50th, Deborah?
I was there.
I know.
Yeah.
I rented out a dim sum Chinese restaurant in Duluth and invited all my closest pals. That was fun. I want to do that again. Do I have to wait till
55?
Yeah. Can I do a party at 55?
Can we do it for Vinny's party?
Well, Vinny's, yes. By the way, if you want to celebrate Vinny's birthday with us, it is going to fall on the Mark Arum Show Listener Lunch, which you can obtain tickets to during the WSB Carathon, which is coming up in just a little bit, coming up in July. I believe the incentives are still active, so you can get them.
Yeah, right now they're at WSBradio.com. So if
/
you want to get in
yeah.
on the early Vinny party,
yeah,
you
it's
can now.
The Mark Arum Show Listener Lunch, but it's actually the Vinny birthday party, which is
the charity goes to the Carathon.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, we're just going to have an add-on party.
But
to
you
it.
can bring gifts birthday gifts for
Heard.
Vinny. Yeah, heard. Yeah, exactly. Happy early birthday, Vin. 26? You're going to be 26?
I'll be 26.
God,
yeah.
you're getting old, kid.
Getting up there.
Old.
Late 20s.
Late, yeah, that's right. Vinny's in his late 20s. You got to change
Pushing
your
30, right?
You got to change your Tinder profile now to say late 20s. All right, Judd's got your news, weather, and traffic in 2. When we come back, updating our top local stories and more reaction to the Memorandum of Understanding. We're going to go to Jerusalem, check in with ABC's Jordana Miller. Social media active through the broadcast at Mark Arum and at WSB Radio.
Welcome to Window Wisdom with NG Windows. Today, we're talking with the owners and window experts, Ted Kirk and Jonathan Cullum. Ted, many of us assume a window is just a window. How is an Infinity fiberglass window different from other window materials?
Well, fiberglass is a thermoset material, meaning once it's made, it keeps its shape. Vinyl is a thermoplastic material, which means it reacts to the temperature changes. Over time, this can cause vinyl windows to warp, while fiberglass remains stable in the extreme heat and cold we experience in Georgia.
Georgia certainly sees some extreme temperature swings. How do your windows hold up to that, Jonathan?
Because Infinity fiberglass windows expand less than vinyl or Fibrex windows, the frame and glass work closely together. That helps prevent gaps, drafts, making you more comfortable in your home, and helps with energy efficiency year after year.
Okay, but we still want our windows to look beautiful. Do homeowners have to sacrifice looks for performance?
Not at all. Infinity windows are designed to look like traditional wood windows, but without the upkeep. They're clean, slim, and attractive without the bulky appearance of vinyl, and they're 8 times stronger to give you more daylight and bigger views.
And what can our homeowners expect during installation with NG Windows?
We understand this may be the only time someone replaces their windows, so we keep homeowners informed every step of the way. Installations are quick, clean, and hassle-free, and every project is backed by a lifetime service warranty.
And right now, NG Windows is kicking off this summer with gigantic June savings. You'll save 18% off your project, plus up to 18 months no interest, no payment financing. Hurry these amazing offers end June 30th, 2026. Visit the beautiful showroom in Alpharetta to see all the possibilities for your home. For all the details on this amazing offer and financing options, visit ngwindows.com.
Infinity by Marvin from NG Windows, yeah!
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's news and talk.
It's 9:30. I'm Jed Hickenbotham. News this half hour brought to you by Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Our top story is new this morning. 2 Metro Atlanta women, the latest to face charges in a COVID fraud case.
The suspects, 44-year-old Jasmine Grant of Jonesboro and 56-year-old Teresa Davis of East Point, are accused of using stolen identities to file for rental assistance with the State Department of Community Affairs. The State Attorney General's office says the suspects had previously been assigned to the department through a temp agency. agency. The two defrauded the government of more than $36,000, putting the money in their personal bank accounts. That program was meant to help families and businesses whose finances were negatively impacted by the pandemic. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
It's currently 79 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says a heavy rain's on the way as the first named tropical system of this season comes up from our southwest.
A flood watch is in effect today and continues through Saturday morning. This is due to the likelihood of 1 to 3 inches of rainfall for all of metro Atlanta, with locally higher amounts possible with some of these slower moving storms rolling through.
Christina keeping an eye on all of this. What's left of Arthur expected to arrive this afternoon and dump rain into tonight. Metro Atlanta also under a wind advisory starting at 6 o'clock tonight with possible gusts as high as 40 miles an hour. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. We're looking over new jobs numbers this morning, which show more Georgians are working as the state sets a new employment record.
The Georgia Department of Labor says the state's labor force reached an all-time high of almost 5.5 million last month. Total employment sets a new record at nearly 5.3 million. May's unemployment rate edged down to 3.4%. That's nearly 1% below the national rate. The sector with the most over-the-month job gains was accommodations and food services. Jobs were down the most in professional and technical services. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
Well, from those promising numbers to the not so promising, a new survey from Wallet Hub finds many Georgians are struggling to pay down their debt.
The financial education website says Georgia comes in at number 12 among the states when looking at where people are the most delinquent on their loans. The site said that in Georgia, the percentage of total loan balances that were delinquent in this year's first quarter was nearly 8.4%.
Bloomberg's Gina Cervetti says Mississippi ranks as the worst state for loan delinquency. Iowa ranks as the best. And we're in the middle of summer camp season, and the DeKalb County Sheriff's Office says it's using pop-up mini camps to better connect with kids in the community. The camps include a fishing excursion for boys, a golf outing for girls. Chief Demetris Atkins says the events are meant to show residents that they care.
The law enforcement encounter should not always be confrontational. It should be something that, can be fun.
And he says the dozens of boys involved in that fishing camp can call their mentors with the department whenever they need to talk. They were given their phone numbers. Another 2-day trip to a leadership camp in Tennessee is planned for next month. It is 9:33 as we check your money, as we learn more about this agreement between the U.S. and Iran. Wall Street, not Walmart, it's part of it. Wall Street is enjoying it, though. Dow is up almost 400 points as the bell rings this morning. S&P is up almost 100, and the NASDAQ is up more than 350 points at the moment. Big numbers here for your Thursday. Now, live team coverage of traffic and weather. Start the WSB 24-hour traffic center, and Mike Shields.
Hey, Judd, it's Ashley, and I'm getting word of a brand new crash where lanes are blocked on I-20 westbound before Panola Road. Traffic Trooper Joy called that in, said a couple of left lanes are blocked and people are out of the vehicles, so just be really careful as you head out of Lithonia and through Stonecrest today. Finally, recovering in Gwinnett County, we've had earlier stalls, now are all out of the way. 85 South, slowest part of the ride between 316 and Beaver Ruin. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Heavy rain and thunderstorms arrived this afternoon, continuing through the late night hours. As much as 1 to 3 inches of rainfall likely, leading to flash flooding concerns, and a few damaging wind gusts can't be ruled out. Today's high is 85, lows tonight in the low 70s, drying out for tomorrow with highs in the low 80s.
All right, 79 degrees right now in South Fulton, 78 in Beaufort. It is 79 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:34. More news at 10, breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
Hey folks, Mark Arum here. All next week at 10:12 a.m. on the Mark Arum Show, I'll have your chance to make your summer a little better. You can win a $150 gas gift card, a $150 grocery store gift card, and a free HVAC checkup from Reliable Heating and Air. Stock the fridge, fill the tank, and make sure your home will be comfortable all summer long. So make sure you're tuned in at 10:12 a.m. for your chance to win. Get details at WSBradio.com. Still to come, we'll monitor Walmart, Wall Street, but coming up next, we're going to Jerusalem, the latest on the Iran deal. 2 minutes away on the Mark Arum Show.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
What if you had the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi and the price didn't change for 5 years? Well, thanks to the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, you don't have to worry about that part of your future. Hey, it's Mark Arum here. Now through June 22nd, get gig Wi-Fi for just $50 a month for 5 years with equipment and unlimited data included. No strings, no commitments, and get online in minutes with the same-day Wi-Fi. You're guaranteed 5 years of Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from online threats. Plus, you can even try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes, fees extra after 12 months. Regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity Internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
At Mayo Clinic in Florida, we are solving the unsolvable. Our transplant experts are using new technologies like machine perfusion to increase the number of usable organs, reduce waiting times, and allow more patients to receive life-saving liver, heart, kidney, and lung transplants. We're making more possible at Mayo Clinic because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic, you know where to go.
Some things get better with age, but not your home siding and windows. If your house is showing its age and needs a facelift, it's only going to get worse. New siding and windows are the perfect fix. Dave Baker here for my siding and window experts, Nelson Exteriors. With Nelson Exteriors, you choose the window that's right for your home and budget from many top-rated manufacturers like Andersen and MI. And Nelson is a licensed and insured James Hardie Elite Preferred Siding contractor. For unmatched quality and craftsmanship, Google Nelson Exteriors.
I don't understand the way you think, saying that she's yours.
Interesting choice of song. Paul McCartney turns 84 years old today. Is this The Girl Is Mine?
Yes, with MJ. Of course you know he picked
did a
MJ.
duet with Michael Jackson.
Yes.
Girl is mine.
All right,
Say
it's a good
is
song.
what you're thinking.
Greatest living rock star is Paul McCartney, Deborah?
I think some people will say that. When
I'm
I think
gonna
of
say it.
true rock star, I think a little more Mick Jagger.
Yeah, understood.
But Paul McCartney's big on there.
It depends. Beatles, Stones, I get it. But happy 84th birthday to Paul McCartney. That famous duet, solo duet. That was not a Beatles song with Michael Jackson. That was a...
Say.
Yeah, there you go. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Speaking of musicians, very excited. Gloria Estefan is going to join us live after the news at 11:35. She is in town doing a show at the Alliance. Deborah already gave it 5 stars. She saw it because she's important like that. Right now, though, we're going to continue our team coverage of the Iran deal. Joining us from ABC News in Jerusalem, Jordana Miller. Jordana, good morning. As always, appreciate your time. So we got some clarification now on this Iranian deal, and we heard from the Iranian spokesperson. Pretty strong words he declared on Iranian state TV. What did he have to say?
The Iranians are declaring victory after signing this MOU with the United States. And I think on one level, they're correct. I mean, on a military level, they were certainly defeated. But at the negotiating table, diplomatically, strategically, they have come out on top. They are going to get a tremendous amount from the United States at the beginning of this deal, without even making concessions or commitments on what was the reason the United States went to war, and that was to limit Iran's nuclear weapons program. All of the ways that Iran may limit that nuclear program, that is all still up for discussion in phase 2 during the next 60 days, and none of it has been agreed upon. The Iranians are not committing to pause enrichment. They're not committing to dilute or hand over that nuclear material. They're not committed to taking apart their nuclear facilities or handing over all of those advanced centrifuges, which are unaccounted for, nor are there any agreement to let in inspectors again from the UN's Atomic Watchdog Agency. There is absolutely no details here. The best we get is that the Iranians are willing to talk about their enrichment program. They're willing to talk about the enriched material, but not much more than that. And, the Iranians, they successfully weaponized their control of the Strait of Hormuz and leveraged it to their advantage. just for agreeing not to fire on vessels or cargo ships in the Strait of Hormuz. They're getting huge sanctions relief, and starting today, they can sell their oil on the open markets, which, by the way, because of the war, as we all know, oil prices are up, and they're going to make even more money than they would have normally made. And that's going to bring hundreds of millions of dollars into their coffers, which the regime is going to use to obviously rebuild, but also just, it's going to help them survive this next period. It is an economic lifeline, if you will. And what the United States is going to get is all up for question. And for future, this deal relies on the good future intentions of the Iranians, but they could drag out negotiations on these nuclear issues for months and months ahead, right? The 60 days can be mutually extended. And I think that President Trump's threats of war now they just fall on deaf ears. The president made it clear a long time ago that he did not want to go back to war, and he needs this to end, and he wants to focus on other issues. The midterms are coming up, the Iranians, I think, have good reason to claim victory today.
Jordana Miller in Jerusalem joining us here on the Mark Arum Show. There's been a lot of criticism of the deal here in the States. I imagine it landed like a lead balloon in Israel. The question I had, though, moving forward after this memorandum of understanding is a cessation of all military action in the region. That includes between Israel and Hezbollah. Will Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister, adhere to that and not attack Hezbollah anymore, even if Hezbollah continues to attack northern Israel?
I don't think so. I do not think so. I mean, the Israeli prime minister has made it clear that he will continue to fight Hezbollah. He will continue to work against Iran's aims to build a nuclear weapon. The Israelis have no trust in the Iranians. They believe that they will covertly continue to push ahead, even under the immunity, if you will, of talk. The Israelis believe that initial windfall of money they'll get from selling their oil will go to fortify their nuclear program. And remember, the Israelis believe there are sites that the United States and the West have not publicly disclosed, that there are other places the Iranians could be enriching uranium, even though much of their program has been set back. And I think the other issue is a withdrawal of IDF forces from southern Lebanon, and there as well, the prime minister has been very clear that the IDF is not going to move out of this buffer zone, which is about 6 miles deep into Lebanon, and in some places 8 miles deep. Will the Israelis withdraw a little bit from, let's say, this castle they took, the Beaufort Castle, or some positions north of the Litani River? Maybe, but they are going to keep a substantial security buffer in southern Lebanon. And I don't believe that's going to change. It will complicate Netanyahu's relationship with Trump. But, it's a great irony that this deal has strengthened Hezbollah's hand because Iran is now claiming it has a right to protect Hezbollah, even though they sow terrorism and instability in the region.
And not to mention, finally, Jordana, billions and billions of dollars that might eventually wind up with Hezbollah, Hamas, or the Houthis. Jordana Miller, ABC News in Jerusalem. Jordana, appreciate your time as always. Stay safe, my friend.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's a lot I don't like about this, and I think I didn't mince words there with Jordana. First off, this is a memorandum of understanding which opens up a 60-day negotiating window. A lot can happen between now and the end of those 60 days. A lot. President Trump was not happy this morning on Truth Social with the pushback from conservatives. Cassidy, Ted Cruz, our own Eric Erickson, calling this deal worse than the Obama deal. And Erickson said complete surrender. I don't think that is going to subside. And I think there's a non-zero chance that President Trump, at some point in the 60 days, finds a reason for the United States to break off from this memorandum of understanding. Now, it was clear there, and we heard it from Jordana, and if you were listening yesterday to President Trump, he said, quote, paraphrasing, he didn't want to be Herbert Hoover. It was obvious that President Trump saw what was happening with the global economy Now, granted, the stock markets have been up. Everything's been, pretty, aside from gas prices and cost of living and we're dealing with it. But President Trump saying he didn't want to be Herbert Hoover. He didn't want to sink the global economy into a depression. And he said, I'm sure, talking to his advisors, like, how do I get out of this? And he saw this off-ramp and took it. Was it the best exit to take off the interstate? Probably not. I just look at it as, are we better off now after we signed this memorandum of understanding than we were on February 27th? And I don't think we are. But I'm not convinced that this is the end of the story. I don't think the story ends with this. I don't think the story ends with Iran getting $1 billion. I don't think this story ends with Iran charging tolls in the Strait of Hormuz after this is all over. I don't think this ends with Iran saying, oh, we're not going to pursue a nuclear weapon, but we're not going to allow inspectors to come in. This isn't the end of the story. This is like chapter 7 of a 25-chapter novel / history book. This isn't the end of it. This isn't the end of it. All right, when we come back, big local story up in Cherokee County. If you live or work in Cherokee County, you're going to listen to this. Right now, though, we got to check the ride around town at 9:46. Back to Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center, and Ashley Frasco.
Delays are only getting worse behind a crash, knocking out a couple of left lanes. Possible injuries as well on the East Freeway, I-20 westbound between Lithonia Industrial Boulevard and Panola Roads. You can certainly use Covington Highway to avoid that. And they've set up construction on the ramps from 285 south and north onto I-20 east as you head out to Wesley Chapel. And still a crowd in Gwinnett on and off the brakes, 85 south down to Beaver Ruin. Traffic brought to you by Service Experts. HVAC making a weird noise? Leave it to the experts. Save $90 on an HVAC precision tune-up with Service Experts. Visit serviceexperts.com and book today. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Everyone has an opinion.
I think you have gotten better at moving through the water.
Eric Von Hessler has an opinion.
Well, that's why you're not the host of the show.
And some advice.
And I don't care about you wearing a mask, but I care about Eric making fun of you. So the answer is no.
Eric Von Hessler, today at 3.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Not only are uneven concrete surfaces around your house eyesores, they can be serious tripping hazards. AquaGuard's concrete lifting solution is just what you need. Go to aquaguard.net today and set up a free inspection. Remember,
AquaGuard. I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell.
And I'm Monica Pearson. Dale and I have worked together for years, first at WSB, and today helping you find Georgia's best companies and sharing why they're the best.
Monica, one of the first companies I researched and recommended is Amco Transmissions and Total Car Care. For more than a dozen years, they've consistently met my 7-point standard and honored my Make It Right guarantee. And I know you believe in Amco just as much as I do.
People who follow my advice literally stop me on the street and thank me for referring them to Amco.
We all need mechanics we can trust for correct diagnosis, efficient repair, and fair price. Not just for transmission repair, but engines, brakes, check engine lights, and so much more. Call the locally owned Amco near you.
And I know their nationwide warranty protects you everywhere.
That's AA.
MCO.
Proud supporters of iPaw Rescue, a nonprofit founded by legendary business activist Carl Icahn, where 100% of donations go to saving dogs' lives. That's AA MCO.
Heard in a crash? Call the accident attorneys at Sweet James, 800-9-million. The system's rigged, friends. Insurance companies protect themselves. Sweet James protects you. $2 billion won, 500 trials, 98% winning record. They put power and respect on your side. Pay no fees unless they win. 800-9-million. 800-9-million. 800-900-0000 and sweetjames.com.
Just call Sweet James at 1-800-9-million. Just call Sweet James, your accident attorneys.
This 4th of July, Butler Lexus of South Atlanta wants to send you to Trilith Live's Celebrate America on July 3rd. Here's how. Bring your vehicle in for a free appraisal and you're automatically entered to win tickets. No purchase necessary, just a no-pressure, one-on-one look at what your car is worth. Want an extra shot? Take a test drive while you're there. 20 winners announced every Wednesday at 5 p.m. 40 tickets, zero pressure. Schedule your free appraisal today at Butler Lexus South Atlanta.
Kick off the summer with a stress-free way to sell your home with the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. You'll save time, make the most money, and eliminate all the hassle. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Spring allergies in Atlanta are no joke. All Care can help you manage your allergy triggers and develop a customized treatment plan. 15 locations, after hours and weekend appointments. And now, virtual care services. Learn more at allcare-ga.com/allergy.
Visit my friends at Tara Fine Jewelry Company in Beaufort. This is Scott Slade. They specialize in exquisite handcrafted fine jewelry and natural mined diamonds, never mass-produced. It's where I've been doing business for over 25 years. Tara Fine Jewelry Company in Beaufort.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to My Computer Career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
I offer the Lannisters peace if they meet my terms. Your family must release my sisters. Joffrey and the Queen Regent must renounce all claim to Dominion of the North. These are my terms.
Happy 40th birthday to the one-time King of the North, actor Richard Madden. He was Robb Stark in Game of Thrones. You know what I love about that, Deborah? He just pops up in these random British TV shows and movies.
Oh, and you're like, oh, that's that guy.
Yeah, all these Game of Thrones actors. Oh, that's fan. Anyway, he turns 40 years old. Robb Stark. Love Game of Thrones. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Still to come, we're going to continue to update reaction to the Memorandum of Understanding after the news at 10. We'll go to D.C. and check in with Stephen Portnoy. Pretty important local story, though, Deborah, that you found for us today concerning Cherokee County. A warning if you live, work, or commute through Cherokee County. What is going on right now?
Yeah, their emergency management is saying that none of their outdoor sirens that they use for emergency alerts, like tornado season, right? None of their 58 sirens are working right now. Now, they are working with the vendor to see if they can come up with a solution, but none of them are working in this severe weather season. So they're saying sirens outdoors are only for people that are outdoors anyway. You should have an app or some other type of warning
the WSB
system.
Radio app.
Yeah,
yes.
WSB radio app. You know, we also have weather alerts.
But listen, there's a lot of people that aren't on.
Older people aren't carrying their phone around necessarily. They might be used to sirens. I grew up hearing sirens for tornado season. But they are working on it. They're just letting people know with the severe weather that's happening right now. If you're living in Cherokee County, you won't hear any outdoor sirens.
How many sirens?
58 not working.
58 not working. Joining us live, the Queen of Cherokee County. The incomparable one, Ashley Frasca. Ashley, did you know that the sirens in Cherokee were not functioning right now?
No, I didn't, and I'm usually outside. They test them, I think, the first Wednesday of every month at noon, so you just kind of get used to hearing that. But I don't know when they went down, but I was not aware. And the weather's getting a little dicey tonight.
Am I overreacting to this story, Ashley?
No, I don't think so. And an amazing feature about our smartphones now is getting those, weather warnings and the EMS warnings through your phone if severe weather's coming through. But a lot of folks don't know how to engage those notifications on their phones. So they may miss them that way too.
And a lot of folks don't have smartphones or internet. Yeah, so that, all right. I wonder if it's something nefarious, like did North Korea hack
Cherokee County? Yeah, I hope not.
You're like, oh, Woodstock, damn you. We're going to, that's, all right. Keep us posted, though. Let us know when that gets back in, because we're in that severe weather season, right? This is when you need those sirens the most. All right, Ashley, good stuff. I just dubbed her the Queen of Cherokee County. That's cool. Everyone,
I think that's appropriate.
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
I was gonna never mind. I was gonna use a ball ground reference, but I'll self-censor myself before I get into trouble. All right, 9:55 on the Mark Arum Show. Cherokee County down to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. There was an arrest, and we had the FBI in studio last week saying, do not fly drones around the event. Someone flew the drone, and it turned out He was an illegal immigrant.
Yeah, where's your dumb criminal for this one?
Yeah,
so not
absolutely.
only did we have the FBI in studio saying, don't fly your drone like miles around during Fan Fest
Yes.
or whatever, because it is going to be a federal offense. It is illegal. We're going to stop you and take your drone away. And the guy did it anyway. And not only is he undocumented, illegal, but he's also been deported a couple times, and he's been back, and he's been convicted of cocaine distribution.
Goodness
Yes,
gracious.
I mean, come
All right,
on.
yeah, that is unfortunately... If you're here illegally,
You don't break any
you
laws,
keep
right?
your head down, your nose clean. You do, especially if you've been deported. You got a coke charge, and now this is federal stuff. You're gonna wind up in Gitmo, dude. Like that's it. Like this is federal big boy stuff. Dumb. That is a dumb criminal. You're not here, even if you're here legally. And you're of a certain tone of skin, or
Yeah, but like you'll get a pass for World Cup, right? Like it's a global thing right now. You could get a pass for being
Sure.
super international. Yeah, I'm visiting for World Cup. I think people would kind of skin
Yeah.
color they're going to look past. But then you have all these other charges on you.
yeah, that's a dumb. I have no empathy there. One more. I guess this is related to the World Cup. There was a social media event at State Farm Arena, and it went awry, shut down. What's the backstory?
Yeah, I
here?
don't know. Maybe, Vinny, you follow. Do you follow Kai Sennett? I thought that might
Yeah,
be. Okay,
yeah.
yeah. So he's a content creator, and they were going to have this basically content creator event, right? Where they maybe teach you how to.
So it's called Streamer University.
Right, and he's one of the heads of it, isn't he?
Yeah, he started it. So it's like basically putting content creators on to the world. Like
Yeah, it's like they're
introducing
it's like
them.
So
their
why was it
drag.
shut down?
It was
Was
like
it
their
just
Dragon Con or something.
it got
Like,
out of control?
It got there was so much people wanting to come because I guess it was a free event too, and you could just show up. So many people showed up, and it was just too many for the State Farm Arena to handle, so they had to shut it down.
Well, I'm a content creator. Why wasn't I invited? I create
you
content
were.
3 hours a day every day.
Exactly.
Plus social media, which you should be following.
And our AI
Oh, and
photos.
Deborah
I was gonna
posted
say that,
her Gracie Award pictures. Good job, Deborah. Make sure you follow Deborah on Instagram or everywhere. It's at Rockstress FM. Fantastic pictures there, Deborah. I'm still so proud of you. We need to go back for New York, though. Like 30,
Take Vinny with us. Though.
32 hours was not enough time in the Big Apple. News, weather, and traffic, and two good news in the markets. We'll continue our team coverage, reaction to the Iran agreement. Stephen Portnoy from ABC going to join us from the nation's capital. Coming up next on the Mark Air Show.
WSB Atlanta, WSB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed right here on 95.5 WSB. Chris, we're barreling through 2026, but it's still early, and that means it's still a great time to get organized in your financial life. And here's the good news for folks listening out there. Hoffman Financial Group is here to help with that, aren't we?
Yeah, so we make it simple, right? And it goes back to saving people time. Don't worry about you having to work with us. We work for you. So if you were to reach out to us, we would start with something as simple as the Portfolio X-ray. Simple as far as your time that you need to provide us some data points on, but we'll take the hours and we'll apply our expertise to generate a pretty comprehensive look at your financial life. Specifically, your risk profile, the fees in your portfolio, the performance over last year, 3 years, 5 years, the last 10 years against benchmarks. We'll also stress test it. Can we go back in time and say what would have happened to your portfolio during the Great Recession or the dot-com bubble that burst or the COVID correction? It'll give you an indication of how much your money is at risk. All of those components mixed into one simple 10 to 14 page report. We'll give you a copy of it. We'll walk you through it. And as I say, I have yet to see one that didn't have 2 or 3 golden nuggets, as I call them, of opportunity for you to contemplate possibly enhancing your financial future moving forward.
Make 2026 the year you take control of your financial life with this complimentary offer from Hoffman Financial Group. There's no cost for the Portfolio X-ray, and the report is yours to keep. Call 404-737-3858. That's 404-737-3858 and online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
news, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
At 10 o'clock, good morning, I'm Veronica Waters. News this hour is brought to you by TE Certified Electrical, Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. WSB's top local story, Tropical Storm Arthur is churning up some rough surf off Texas's coast, and the system is forecast to drop up to 10 inches of rain through Friday. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says as Arthur moves east, a wind advisory begins at 6 p.m. for Metro Atlanta. And there's more.
A flood watch is in effect today and continues through Saturday morning. This is due to the likelihood of 1 to 3 inches of rainfall for all of Metro Atlanta, with locally higher amounts possible with some of these slower moving storms rolling through.
Now, as the weather intensifies through this summer season and Tropical Storm Arthur's remnants move this way, there's one county that's dealing without a key warning system.
All 58 of Cherokee County's outdoor warning sirens are currently out of service. Emergency management officials are working with the system's maintenance provider to restore operations, but they're encouraging residents to have alternate ways to receive weather alerts. NOAA weather radios can provide audible weather service warnings. They're available online or at local retailers. Residents can also enroll in the Cherokee County Text Alert program, but of course your best bet is to download the WSB radio app to get the very latest reports and any alerts or warnings directly to your phone. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
It's now 79 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards again forecasting heavy rain arriving during the afternoon drive. As much as 1 to 3 inches of rain likely in Metro Atlanta, highs in the mid-80s again. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. Big news as Georgia surpasses 5 million jobs while setting new labor force and employment records.
Georgia Labor Commissioner Barbara Rivera-Holmes says it's about putting people first and opportunities within reach. New numbers from the state labor department show the state's labor force reached an all-time high last month at nearly 5.5 million. The total employment set a new record at 5.3 million. The unemployment rate edged down to 3.4%. Over the past year, federal government jobs were down the most. The most job gains were seen in healthcare and social assistance. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
DeKalb County Police ask for the public's help finding a person of interest in a missing persons case. Police are looking for a man known as Peter to question him in the disappearance of 34-year-old Kareem Smith. Peter is approximately 60, was last known living among the 5600 block of Covington Highway. A photo of Peter is on DeKalb County Police's social media page. The Coweta County Sheriff's Office mourns the death of one of their four-legged officers. The Sheriff's Office announcing K9 Robbie died unexpectedly this week. His handler found him unresponsive and rushed him to Sweetwater Animal Hospital where he died. Vets determined K9 Robbie died of natural causes. It was back in February Robbie was recognized for helping police capture a bank robbery suspect. We're learning new details this morning on the ceasefire deal with Iran, including where Tehran's nuclear program stands under the new agreement.
As for the issue at the heart of this conflict, Iran reaffirms that it shall not procure or develop nuclear weapons. Reaffirms because it's the same promise Iran made in the first line of the nuclear deal struck with President Obama. But unlike the Obama deal, this agreement with Trump makes no other nuclear commitments, no plan to dispose of its highly enriched uranium. Instead, the agreement is to continue negotiating.
Next up, delegations from the U.S. and Iran are scheduled to begin holding talks on the implementation of this deal tomorrow in Switzerland. It is 10:03 and the Mark Arum Show continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, it's going to go to live team coverage of traffic and weather. Ashley Frasca is now live in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Good morning, Veronica. Unfortunately, a travel advisory through DeKalb County with an injury crash. A couple of left lanes knocked out on I-20 westbound before Panola Road. Last chance to exit to avoid the gridlock traffic is Turner Hill Road. Back at exit 75, go ahead and use Covington Highway as your alternate route there. But we have some road work slowing your rides. First in Canton, ramping onto 575 south from Riverstone Parkway. Crews are on that left side of the entrance ramp, and they're also working along Highway 316 westbound towards Cedars Road. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Heavy rain and thunderstorms rolling through this afternoon through late tonight. As much as 1 to 3 inches of rainfall likely for the metro Atlanta area, as well as wind gusts around 40 miles per hour. Today's high is 85, lows tonight in the low 70s, drying out but still cloudy for tomorrow, high around 82.
Right now it's 79 degrees in Tucker, it's 80 degrees in Tyrone, and 79 in Midtown Atlanta at 10:05. More news coming up at 10:30 and breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome back to the show and a good Thursday morning to you. Mark Arum here, you there. It's 10:05, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is the Mark Arum Show, live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 95.5 WSB. The whole fam with us today. Gracie Award-winning Deborah, executive producer of the program. Got Darius on the phones today, and down south, Vinny is on the other side of the takeout window. Coming up in 45 minutes, we're going to check in with Bloomberg News on the future of gas and oil. And by the way, the markets are reacting positively to the memorandum of understanding. Dow's up 200, Nasdaq's up 250, and oil, Deborah, is down 3.88%.
Nice.
That Texas sweet crude is hovering at $73.80 a barrel. Far cry from the high of $120. So we're going to go in depth with that. Bloomberg News at 10:50, and perhaps the highlight of today's show, at least in my mind's eye. Even Vinny's dancing to this song. Gloria Estefan is going to join us live after the news at 11:35. And right before Gloria, Deborah's got tickets to see Bob Dylan again. So a very musical-centric final half hour of the Mark Arum Show. I wonder if I can still remember the dance. Like, there is a dance
You can always just do a conga line.
Oh, okay. We'll do that in the newsroom. Alert Austin and
Jonathan O'Brien was very excited about Gloria Estefan, so
oh,
I hope
nice.
he's here today. Yeah.
Look at J.O.B. All right. You never prejudge. You never know what someone's into. All right. Let's continue our team coverage of the Memorandum of Understanding. Obviously, you know exactly what's been going on. President Trump signed it in Versailles, and there's been a lot of criticism. We talked to Jordana Miller in Jerusalem. Israelis not happy about that. We talked to the head of the Iranian American Council of Georgia, Batul, at the beginning of the show, and she seemed okay with it, but not fully on board. This is where I stand, and I've been consistent since day one. When this war started, I said for the first time in my lifetime, there is an open window for us to actually get a legitimate regime change and a pathway toward a democratic Iran. If Iran became a democracy, that would just change everything. It's a oil-rich country, 91 million people, fantastic Persian people, smart, educated. They're just suffocated by this regime, and they tried an uprising, and the regime killed like 40,000 people not too long ago. So that's where I've been from day one. And obviously that is not what this memorandum of understanding is. The Ayatollah's son is staying in charge. We're no closer to a democratic Iran than we were 18 months ago. And that's disheartening to me. Now, I want to go back when February 28th, obviously the Iran war started. President Trump addressed the nation, laying out why he, along with Israel, took this military action. This is what the president had to say after the start of the war.
The United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime. Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world. It's been mass terror, and we're not going to put up with it any longer. The regime has armed, trained, and funded terrorist militias that have soaked the earth with blood and guts. And it was Iran's proxy, Hamas, that launched the monstrous October 7th attacks on Israel. It has always been the policy of the United States, in particular, my administration, that this terrorist regime can never have a nuclear weapon. I'll say it again, they can never have a nuclear weapon. They've rejected every opportunity to renounce their nuclear ambitions, and we can't take it anymore. Instead, they attempted to rebuild their nuclear program and to continue developing long-range missiles that can now threaten our very good friends and allies in Europe, our troops stationed overseas, and could soon reach the American homeland. For these reasons, the United States military is undertaking a massive and ongoing operation to prevent this very wicked, radical dictatorship from threatening America and our core national security interests. We are going to destroy their missiles and raise their missile industry to the ground. It will be totally, again, obliterated. And we will ensure that Iran does not obtain a nuclear weapon. It's a very simple message. They will never have a nuclear weapon.
All right, so that was President Trump, telling us that the war started in Iran back on February 28th. And the memorandum of understanding, again, there is a commitment from Iran to not continue to pursue a nuclear weapon or acquire one. That is in the memorandum of understanding. President Trump has been adamant through the 100-plus days of this war that that is the ultimate goal. There are other goals. There were other goals for this war, but that's the one. But this memorandum of understanding doesn't lay out, like we heard in the news there, the Obama nuclear plan, which allowed inspections, international groups to go and inspect. That's not part of this memorandum of understanding. We're just taking them at their word, which to me has less teeth than the Obama deal. But if you heard President Trump there, starting before he got to the nuclear issue, he talked about the funding of terror. Like for the 47 years since the revolution that Iran has been a state sponsor of terror, funding Hezbollah, the Houthis, Hamas, the funding that Iran, that was the criticism of the Obama deal. You gave $600 million to $1.7 billion of money back to Iran that was theirs, and they turned around and used that and funded Hamas, which led to October 7th, funded Hezbollah, which leads to what we've been seeing there. That was the criticism of the Obama deal. Now we're staring at a reality where Iran's going to have exponentially more money than they got in the Obama deal. And there's nothing in the agreement that says, hey, you're going to stop funding terrorist organizations. There's nothing in that. There's nothing in that memorandum of understanding that Iran says, okay, we're going to stop giving money to terrorist organizations, our proxies. There's none of that in there. And that was one of the central things that President Trump led with on February 28th, saying, hey, we want to knock out Iran's capability to fund these terrorist organizations that have, cost Americans lives for the last 47 years. Nowhere to be found in the agreement. He then transferred to the missile capabilities. He went in depth there. He said the goal of this war is to make sure that Iran doesn't have these ballistic missiles that could hit Israel, that could hit Europe. And President Trump says eventually they could hit the American homeland. Now, our military did everything we asked of them. Flawless execution. Knocked out a lot of important stuff there. There's no criticism whatsoever of what our military did in Iran. But President Trump yesterday was asked about, what about the ballistic missile capabilities? He's like, well, I can't do that. They got to have missiles. Saudi Arabia's got missiles. So Iran's... What? That was one of the central reasons you stated we went to war, is that Iran would no longer have their missile capabilities to strike American bases in the region, to strike our ally Israel, to strike our allies in Europe, and eventually the capability to strike us here in the American homeland. That was big. He went on about that, about the missile capabilities of Iran, that can't not happen. And then asked about it yesterday. He's like, well, it is, they got to have missiles. Like, I can't tell them they can't. And never mind regime change. Never mind regime change, which is not on the table. So, again, I don't think this is the end of the story. I think there's a lot of opportunity for negotiators to address, hey, you can't take any of these billions and give them to Hezbollah, Hamas, or the Houthis. I think there's time to address the missile capabilities. There's a lot. We're not done with this yet. This is a memorandum of understanding that opens negotiations. There better be, I want Marco Rubio at that freaking table. I want him at that table. I want him negotiating. No offense to Vice President Vance or Witkoff or no. This, back to the kids' table. Let the Secretary of State deal with this. So that, again, not the end of the road. The story's not written, but I have major concerns from what President Trump stated back on February 28th, why we're in this war, to where we are now. I went a little long there. Tell Stephen Portnoy to hang on. I'm going to break a little early so we can come back and go to the nation's capital and check in with Stephen Portnoy with more reaction to the Memorandum of Understanding. Right now, though, at 10:15, we shall check the ride around town again. Back live to the traffic center and Ashley Frasca.
A little bit better news now on the East Freeway. It looks like they're finally starting to clear that long-standing crash that was I-20 westbound before Panola Road. Lanes are opening back up. Still a tough ride, though, in from Turner Hill. And a few brake lights left over in downtown Atlanta. 75-85 northbound coming up from University Avenue, and southbound connectors slow in Midtown. Traffic brought to you by Hamilton at the Fox Theater. Hamilton returns to the fabulous Fox Theater September 2nd through 20th. Tickets on sale now at BroadwayInAtlanta.com. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
All next week at 10-12 a.m., make sure you're listening to The Mark Arum Show for your chance to win a $150 gas gift card, a $150 grocery store gift card, and a free HVAC checkup from my friends at Reliable Heating and Air. Budget's tight everywhere. Think of this as a little less pressure on your budget. Fuel for the road, food for the fridge, and comfort at home for the summer. Tune into The Mark Arum Show at 10-12 a.m. for your chance to win. Get details at WSBRadio.com.
Summer is here, and you know what that means. Bugs are here too. Mosquitoes, ants, roaches, spiders, and they all want to show up right when you're trying to enjoy that backyard, porch, and a family cookout or time by the pool. And with June being home ownership month, it's the perfect time for you to make sure your home is protected. Now, around my house, I don't want pests ruining the summer memories. And that's why I trust family-owned and operated Arrow Exterminators. For over 62 years, Arrow's been protecting homes and businesses, and they've built their reputation on great customer service. Plus, they're all backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. So take back your yard this summer. You can trust the experts at Arrow Exterminators. Schedule a free pest inspection today. Call 888-GO-ARROW or visit arrowexterminators.com and make sure you tell them Belinda sent you.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed right here on 95.5 WSB. Chris, you've talked for years about the importance of having a financial plan in place because it gives us that roadmap for the journey of retirement. That helps us navigate the ups and the downs, when life doesn't go to script. But hey, when can we ever count on life to go according to script?
Yeah, it never does, but we can script it out for you financially. And this is a pretty robust offer that we would present to you today. The first step is you call us or you go to unleashyourmoney.com and click that portfolio x-ray button or the 401k x-ray. That'll allow us to do about a 10 to 14 page report. We give it to you. It assesses exactly what's included in your financial life, all of your investments. From there, if you want us to take step 2 for you, again, completely complimentary, free of charge, we will build you an income plan to replace your paycheck in retirement. That income plan also includes tax strategies, which are extremely important for people in today's environment. Then if you want us to take the final step, we can fold all of that into a full financial plan and map it out for the rest of your life or until age 100. All 3 of those offers, completely free of charge, completely complimentary. I would start with that portfolio x-ray. It'll take us a few hours to generate the report. We do all that behind the scenes. We give it to you in a half an hour, 45-minute meeting. Very valuable information for you to have on your ready and take home with you.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group today, 770-580-2024. That's 770-580-2024 or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
If you live through an Atlanta summer, you know your AC has to be ready. That's why I recommend Reliable Heating and Air. Hey, it's Mark Arum back with you right now. You can get any size AC, just $69.99 a month with 0 down. And with their Comfort Club, repairs, maintenance, even filters are included for life. You can schedule your free consultation online at reliableair.com. Reliable Heating and Air, always here for you.
The garage door springs that come standard with most homes don't last. And when they fail, it's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello at A1 Garage Door Service. Our springs are the toughest in the industry, backed by our lifetime warranty. That's right. Fix them once and you're covered for life. Don't risk your family's safety or your peace of mind. Let A1 replace your springs before they become a problem. From repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one.
A1 from day one.
Hey, it's Shelley Winter for RJ's Auto Body Plus in Marietta. I'm here with Kelly, a satisfied customer. How was your experience, Kelly, with RJ's Auto Body Plus?
My experience was great. I had an accident back in October, and the insurance company approved an aftermarket bumper. And honestly, it just didn't look right. It was wrong color, didn't match, stuck out just a little bit. I went back to RJ's, and I really appreciated them. They went and they fought the insurance company for me. They went back and forth with the insurance company and got them to approve a factory OEM bumper, meaning that it actually goes with my car.
That's a real live customer experience with RJ's Auto Body Plus. Go there now, ladies and gentlemen. Call 770-955-5020 or search RJ's Auto Body Plus. That's RJ's Auto Body Plus, 770-955-5020 or simply search RJ's Auto Body Plus.
10:21 on the Mark Arum Show, continuing our team coverage of the Iran negotiations, the Memorandum of Understanding. Joining us from ABC News in the nation's capital, Stephen Portnoy. Stephen, we got confirmation that this is the deed, the Memorandum of Understanding. What are your biggest takeaways from this?
I think what's most interesting is the idea that the United States will immediately issue sanctions waivers to allow Iran to sell oil into the global marketplace right away and receive money right away as a function of its sale of oil. And Iran pledges for 60 days to allow toll-free safe passage through the Strait of Hormuz. What happens on day 61? Well, that'll be figured out, I guess. There's also the creation of a $300 billion fund that over time will accrue to Iran's benefit for economic development. The regional partners apparently are going to be asked to contribute to that. And the president said yesterday that as this deal is implemented over time, there'll be the unfreezing of assets, which the president said yesterday is Iran's money, not our money, which is a strange thing for a Republican president to say, particularly one who was so critical of the United States unfreezing assets during Barack Obama's presidency. The president yesterday cast this in practical terms. He said that he didn't want to see economic catastrophe. He says if you kept this going, that could have happened. He says he doesn't want to be the late, great Herbert Hoover, who was president in 1929 during the stock market crash which touched off the Great Depression. The president said yesterday that the global stockpiles of oil are being depleted, the global reserves. He said, you want to see bedlam? Just give it 4 more weeks. So Iranian oil will enter the global marketplace with American assent, and we'll see what happens next. Oh, yeah, the Iran nuclear program. This agreement has Iran saying that it reaffirms it will not procure or develop nuclear weapons. Reaffirms because they made that commitment more than a decade ago during Barack Obama's presidency. What's new here is they say that they'll work under international supervision to downblend on site their stockpile of highly enriched uranium, which is new here. And if it's fully implemented, which experts say will take a lot of careful attention and time to negotiate, they fear, that'll be a key element of it. But I guess we'll see what happens next. The president, as he signed this thing at Versailles last night, said to the room, this wasn't easy, and he put his own signature on it. He's sending the vice president to Switzerland at the end of the week tomorrow to sign, I guess, the same piece of paper. I'm not sure why, but that's what's going to happen.
Well, I'm old enough to remember the pallets of cash criticism of former President Obama when that deal went down. After the official MOU was announced, a lot of Republican criticism here stateside. President Trump not happy with that, getting on social media early this morning. Do you think he thought this would just be wildly accepted by everybody?
I don't know. I think that ultimately, what he's doing is he's saying that critics of the deal are jealous, bad people, or stupid. He's trying to convince his own party and skeptics that this is for the broader economic benefit of the world, and that's the argument.
Iranians claiming complete victory in this war now after the signing of this Memorandum of Understanding. Now, to be fair, though, there's a 60-day negotiating period, so we don't know what will happen at the end of these 60 days. But I think it's, pretty shocking that Iran is declaring victory in this war with the United States and Israel.
I think that this is not the unconditional surrender that the president said would be necessary earlier this year. And I think that it'll be very interesting to see how the response to this is calibrated by the president's allies in Congress. But so far, Bill Cassidy, the Republican senator from Louisiana, who is not going to be serving after the end of this year because he was essentially ousted from office. The president backed a primary opponent. Bill Cassidy said yesterday that Ronald Reagan would be rolling over in his grave, that this is the worst foreign policy blunder in decades.
And finally, Stephen, you remember President Trump addressing the nation or the world right after the war started and laying out why he chose this military action with Israel. And the four things, I think it was four, maybe five things that, led to the war and what they wanted to accomplish. It looks like maybe one of the five might have been accomplished.
Well, one of the five would have to do, and a big one from the White House's perspective, is this idea of Iran's nuclear ambitions. I think, look, this pledge on paper is that Iran will not procure or develop nuclear weapons. The president's backing up the deal by saying that if it doesn't work out, we'll go back to bombing the hell out of them. That's what he said yesterday. There is, however, history here which indicates that, yes, Iran can agree to things, and the international community also has said, well, yes, but, that when I say international community, I mean the IAEA, the international inspectors, who were skeptical of Iran's compliance, as Donald Trump was during Barack Obama's presidency. So I think we're just going to have to see.
Stephen, great stuff as always. Have a good day, my friend.
You bet.
1026 on the Mark Arum Show. Just picking up some breaking news from the Supreme Court. Supreme Court limits the power of federal government to disarm drug users. Supreme Court today curbed the power of the government to disarm a frequent marijuana user, limiting the scope of a law enacted during the 60s to keep weapons out of the hands of Americans who regularly use drugs. That just popped from the Supreme Court. We'll digest, marinate, regurgitate, and let you know what that means to gun owners and drug users nationwide. News, weather, and traffic in 3 when we come back. More on our top local stories and the Memorandum of Understanding. This is the Mark Arum Show on 95.5 WSB.
Coolray is celebrating 60 years of bringing home comfort to Atlanta, and they're making June a month to remember. Right now, you can upgrade your home comfort with a new Carrier cooling system starting at just $60 a month. If your AC struggled last summer or you're worried about rising repair costs, now is the time to replace it before the Georgia heat arrives. For 60 years, Atlanta homeowners have trusted Coolray. To set an appointment today, simply go to Coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz, and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no, and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now. 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Y'all, I love my hot tub. I've traveled something like 11 weeks in a row on airplanes. Listen, I'm tired of flying. My back hurts, carrying a backpack, sitting in the seats, all the travel. I come home, I get in my hot tub, I let the back massager work on me. It's fantastic, and I get to watch the stars and relax. You can move, you can recover, you can reset, you can get a swim spa, Georgia Spa Company. You can cool down in a cold plunge. I'm thinking of getting one of those. Or a sauna, so much more. GeorgiaSpaCompany.com. Bring relaxation home today. GeorgiaSpaCompany.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Take away some of those anxieties when the summer pop-up thunderstorms roll through Georgia with my friends at Dr. Roof. Hey, it's Mark Arum here, your trusted roofing experts at Dr. Roof. Visit them online. Make sure you're secure at drroof.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 10:30. I'm Veronica Waters. The news this half hour is brought to you by Dr. Roof. WSB's top story, we are in for an active weather day around Metro Atlanta. It's not raining now, but it's on the way as the weather system Arthur approaches from our southwest. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says it is gonna get gusty.
A wind advisory in effect for Metro Atlanta beginning 6 o'clock this evening through 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Wind gusts as high as 40 miles per hour to be expected through the evening hours and early tomorrow morning. This may be strong enough to knock down a few trees or power lines in our region.
Metro Atlanta is also under a flood watch through Saturday morning. Many of us could see up to 3 inches of rain from the system headed our way, and some areas of North Georgia could see any more. The storms that are threatening are now closing Fan Fest early today as fans head to the match that's planned for between Czechia and the South Africa. Stay with us for continuing team coverage of the developing weather in Metro Atlanta. In the wake of the presidents of both the United States and Iran signing off on the MOU ending the fighting, the head of the Pentagon was at a NATO meeting this morning delivering a rebuke to some of America's allies.
Key NATO allies have welcomed the deal to stop the war in Iran, but now Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has called those same allies shameful for not supporting the war more fully. It was widely considered a war of choice in Europe, which did not meet the requirements for collective defense. And now Hegseth has announced a review to examine the level of U.S. support to NATO.
That's Chief International Correspondent James Longman, who's at the Foreign Desk in London. All new this hour, the U.S. Supreme Court is siding with a Texas marijuana user who wants to legally own a gun, the latest in a line of firearm cases from a court which has expanded gun rights. The unanimous decision handed down this morning in the case of Ali Daniel Hermani, who argued a law barring guns from anyone who uses illegal drugs violates the Second Amendment. The decision is a loss for President Trump's Republican administration, which defended the 1968 law despite arguing against other gun restrictions. Happening this half hour, the ticker tape parade to celebrate the Knicks NBA championship is now underway in Lower Manhattan.
We are together as a unit, as New York. This win makes us a family, a big family. Hell yeah.
Some 10,000 police officers are deployed for the parade. The Knicks will get the key to the city. 2 Metro Atlanta women face charges in a COVID fraud case.
The suspects, 44-year-old Jasmine Grant of Jonesboro and 56-year-old Teresa Davis of East Point, are accused of using stolen identities to file for rental assistance with the State Department of Community Affairs. The State Attorney General's office says the suspects had previously been assigned to the department through a temp agency. The two defrauded the government of more than $36,000, putting the money in their personal bank accounts. That program was meant to help families and businesses whose finances were negatively impacted by the pandemic. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
Bruce Springsteen, Christina Aguilera, Eddie Vedder, Jennifer Hudson, Stevie Wonder, and U2's Bono are among the star-studded stage lineup today for the grand opening of the Obama Presidential Center. The Chicago Sun-Times says former Presidents Clinton, Bush and Biden are set to appear at the ceremony in Chicago as well. It's 10:33. Live team coverage of traffic and weather starts right now as Ashley Frasca updates your mid-morning commute at the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Thanks, Veronica. Folks trying to get between Kennesaw and Marietta in for a rude awakening with some police activity that has all lanes shut down right now. So this is a traffic red alert on 75 South between the north and south 120 loops, and traffic quickly stacking all the way back up to 575. Jump in those express lanes or use Highway 41 Cobb Parkway as your alternate route. And looking for and finding a crash on the southwest perimeter, it's 285 eastbound near I-85, cruiser in the right lane. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Heavy rain and thunderstorms arrived this afternoon, continuing through the late night hours. As much as 1 to 3 inches of rainfall likely, leading to flash flooding concerns, and a few damaging wind gusts can't be ruled out. Today's high is 85, lows tonight in the low 70s, drying out for tomorrow with highs in the low 80s.
Right now it's 79 degrees at 10:34. More news at 11 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
All the notifications you need.
The story developing in Marietta.
All the local and breaking news alerts you need.
We're following breaking news in Atlanta.
All in one place.
The 95.5 WSB app.
Download it today.
Coming up next, breaking news out of the Supreme Court and how the markets are reacting to the Iran deal. All of that straight ahead in 2 minutes on the Mark Arum Show.
Who doesn't want their plumbing, roofing, HVAC, you name it, job done right for the right price? I'm Dale with TrustDale.com. 2.5 million happy TrustDale customers can't be wrong. Book your next project to get my free $10,000 Make It Right guarantee only at TrustDale.com.
It's not just about great prices. It's about how you feel when you know with great confidence that you're being taken really good care of. Come see why Georgia made us #1. Beaver Toyota coming. I'm not kidding. We're going to wow you.
Just call Sweet James at 1-800-9-million. Just call Sweet James, your accident attorney.
Sweet James, the only firm to call if you're hurt in a crash. 800-9-million and sweetjames.com.
Do you use AI? Do your neighbors or colleagues? New Microsoft findings show how AI use is spreading across the U.S., highlighting where adoption is highest at both the state and county level. Microsoft President and Vice Chair Brad Smith has more.
Over 30% of working-age Americans are using AI, but while the U.S. leads in innovation, it ranks just 21st in global adoption, due in part to uneven use across the country.
The report highlights widening urban-rural gaps, but college towns like Williamsburg, Virginia, and Story, Iowa stand out, showing some of the highest AI usage rates globally.
As demand grows, AI will become a foundational technology, on par with the internet. It'll reshape how people learn and work. Closing the AI adoption gap will be key to ensuring its economic benefits are shared more broadly.
View the report and see how your state compares at aka.ms/USAI diffusion.
It's Scott Slade with John Loud, president of Loud Security Systems. And John, with cameras and video doorbells, some folks may not see the need for a security system. Why should they consider monitored security for their home or business?
Monitored security is all about peace of mind for your business and for your home, especially with proactive video solutions. I highly encourage you to take action 30 days too early instead of 1 day too late. Whether that's getting water detection notification, fire alarm, you also get insurance rate reductions for having a monitored security system.
Loud Security Systems. Call 678. Get loud.
10:37 on the Mark Arum Show. Can you tell I'm excited? 1 hour from right now, the legend Gloria Estefan is going to join us live. She is in town performing a show at the Alliance Theater. Very excited to talk to Miss Estefan. And right before we talk to Gloria, Deborah, you have tickets to give away to see another musical legend.
Yeah, Bob Dylan's going to be playing at Chastain.
That's a hell of a duo. I'd like to
do a duet,
a collab between Gloria Estefan.
Right. Maybe Vinny can make that happen.
And Bob Dylan. All right, so very musical final half hour of the Mark Arum Show. Right now, though, right before the news break, we picked up some breaking news from the Supreme Court. Unanimous Supreme Court decision. They've sided with a marijuana user who wants to legally own a gun. AP correspondent Sagar Magani has the ruling.
A unanimous Supreme Court has sided with a marijuana user who wants to legally own a gun. The Texas man argued a 1968 law barring illegal drug users from having guns violates the Second Amendment, and the High Court agreed. That's a loss for the Trump administration, which defended the law despite arguing against other gun restrictions. The same law was used in a case against Hunter Biden, who was convicted of buying a gun while a cocaine addict and was later pardoned by his father. This was the latest in a series of firearms cases for a high court that has expanded gun rights. Sagar Magani, Washington.
So that's so ironic because when the story broke, I was like, "What? Wait, what does that mean for Hunter Biden?" So that's interesting. So unanimous Supreme Court decision. We don't see those anymore, and I didn't know that it was the Trump administration that was that was pushing this. Interesting. So now Hunter Biden can get a firearm? I don't know. Anyway, that's some breaking news. Speaking of drug use, Deborah, let's go to North Georgia. Massive meth bust. How big and where was the meth discovered?
All right, this was in Forest Park. So a woman was seen doing a drug deal in the church parking lot. So they started an investigation.
Whoa. What?
Yes. Yeah. This was just like almost like a small drug deal. I don't know what.
Hold on, let me think about that.
Okay.
If I were a drug dealer, where would I do the deal? Is that a smart thing to do it at the church? Maybe.
Well, I would say no.
No, but I think like police, they're not going to be expecting
right. You think when
there.
People are in the church parking lot because there's all kinds of events.
Yeah, it's
for
like
community
there's
there.
a potluck going on.
There's all kinds of different events that happen at different hours and days that happen in churches.
All right,
so.
I'm not opposed to that maneuver. Okay, I'm sorry.
All right. Well, anyway, she was doing a deal there. This started an investigation into who this person was and why they were dealing it. So they were able to obtain a warrant and check out their house where they found 200 pounds of meth. Ooh. And where do you store 200 pounds of meth? Under the bed, of course.
In my card room.
Yeah,
I would start. That's the only place I could store 200. I don't even know what 200 pounds of meth looks like. So the deal didn't go down. Like, there were 200 pounds of meth wasn't in the church parking lot.
No, that was a much smaller deal. I think that was maybe like 4 pounds. But the rest of her stash she kept under the bed. Well, that's where you put it.
So this is in Forest Park. Was it Forest Park Police? Was it GBI? Does it say who?
Investigators.
I'm sure GBI got involved.
I'm sure it was a collaboration between like county and state and federal.
But I do want to give a hat tip to the officer that saw something fishy in the church parking lot. Because if I was a police officer, I mean, I would patrol near churches to make sure nothing, no one's breaking in.
Maybe he was doing like traffic control that one day. You know how police come out and do traffic after church?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the drug dealer handbook says about where to, but I would think that's better than, like a parking lot of a Walmart or
a preschool.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Anyway, good job. 200 pounds of meth hidden under was it a waterbed?
Does not say.
Are those still? Do you ever sleep in a waterbed?
I've always wanted to get in a waterbed.
No, my friend in high school had a waterbed.
Yeah,
so when we would have sleepovers, and I did not like it.
Worst experience in my life. You're not missing anything, Vinny. You're not missing. I mean, maybe in 2026 the technology's caught up, but in the early to mid 80s, that was a horrible night because if it wasn't filled all the way, it was.
Yeah, I did not like it. Again, I was a kid. I don't really remember.
Uneven.
Huh? Yeah, it's always uneven. That's the problem.
I don't know. No, for all the water bed salesmen out there.
The new ones, who knows?
Yeah, I know a lot of folks are financing water beds right now, according to the 3-year Letterman. But I'm not disparaging the actual, but in the 80s, they were not good. All right, markets are up right now. Dow's up, NASDAQ's up. Gas is falling. Oil's down 3.69%. Continue our team coverage of reaction to the Iran agreement is correspondent Rory O'Neill. Rory, market's up. Gas is falling. The Fed says, hey, we're not going to raise interest rates. Overall, pretty good economic news right now.
Yeah, today we're seeing more of the oil decline, and yesterday we saw the Dow drop off big. A lot of that has to do with the comments made by the new chairman of the Federal Reserve, Kevin Warsh. This is the guy who replaced Jerome Powell. So it was some of his comments suggesting that, we all thought Powell was sort of, they let his term expire, President Trump did, because he wanted someone to be more aggressive about lowering interest rates. Well, Warsh's first comments suggest that maybe we could have to raise interest rates before the year is done because of all the inflation caused by the spike in oil prices caused by the conflict with Iran. But as that looks to resolve itself, as the oil prices start to slide, maybe we won't need that rate increase later in the year. So stay tuned.
I can't imagine President Trump wanted to hear that from his new Fed chair, that interest rates might have to go up.
Well, no, and clearly investors didn't want to either, with the Dow shedding 500 points yesterday. But, you know how the Dow swings these days. It's nowadays we shrug off 500-point swings, either up or down. But again, a lot of this is now going to depend on the success of negotiators reaching a deal. We talked about this 14-point plan that's really vague, this memorandum of understanding. It's designed to be vague. But this is my new comparison. I say this is like when you put in an offer to buy a house or a condo. Like, we're just at the point where we put in the offer. You've said, I accept.
we still have to go through closing. And boy, there's a lot that can happen there.
That's a really good analogy. Correspondent Rory O'Neill joining us on the Mark Arum Show. All right, so gas prices dipping below $4 a gallon nationwide. The markets are up. What's ahead for the economy, and how is it going to affect the personal spending of the listeners here in Atlanta?
Well, I think we're all waiting to see what's going to be happening with these oil prices. You know, it showed as a result of this conflict that it doesn't take much for Iran to be able to disrupt and strangle off the Strait of Hormuz. Just a few Boston whalers, zipping around a tanker can cause all kinds of chaos, and that's going to be a concern going forward. You know, we also got an unrelated report from AAA yesterday talking about the 4th of July travel. They said it's going to be flat airfares, flat air travel, flat by car. They see a bump up in cruising, but that's really seen as a budget option for many travelers, since the food's included, the room's included, stuff like that. So it's interesting to see that may be a sign of where a lot of people have confidence in the economy, just sort of saying, it's okay, but I'm just going to hold back a little bit. I don't need to be adding a lot to the credit card right now.
Roy, I know it's been a couple days now, but how did the markets react to the New York Knicks winning their first title in 53 years?
Insufferable, like all Knicks fans. And then to have this on, look, nothing is getting done today. So, by the way, don't look at whatever Wall Street number comes out today. Nobody's working today in New York as the parade's being held to celebrate the victory.
I just had to sneak it in at the end there. Yes, Rory, great stuff as always, my friend. Have a good day.
Hey, thanks, Mark.
By the way, the New York Knicks parade going on right now. I am not there. Deborah, we just missed it. We just missed the parade.
Just blocks away from it.
Yeah, I'm not really a parade guy, though. Yeah.
There's a lot of standing around. Do they still throw candy? That's what I remember as a kid. They used to throw candy at
Really?
us. Yeah.
At the Knicks parade?
Yes, at the Knicks parade. Just parades in general, right?
know.
That's what I remember.
If I were 9, I'd be like, yeah, I want to go to the parade. Nah, at 52, I'm like, no. Where's the bathroom situation?
Yeah, you got to be outside of hotels and use the bathroom. Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, it took me this long into the show to mention that the Knicks parade is going on right now. That's it. I'm going to drop it because I know you folks don't want me. Just be happy for me, dear listener. I'd be happy for you if your team won for the first time in 53 years. So just be happy for me. And I'll leave it at that. I'll say no more. All right, continue our coverage of the markets when we come back after a check of traffic and a quick break. We're going to check in with Bloomberg News because U.S. gasoline prices have fallen below $4 a gallon. We'll see the future of the oil and gas market with Bloomberg News after we check that aforementioned ride. Live with the latest, Ashley Frasca.
We have a gridlock alert trying to get between Kennesaw and Marietta. Police activity on 75 southbound has it shut down between the north and south 120 loops. If you're hearing this on 75 or 575, your last chance to exit on both interstates is off at Chastain Road to avoid the gridlocked traffic. You can use Highway 41 Cobb Parkway, or the express lanes are still open in the southbound direction. Better news in the southwest perimeter, though you are slow up from Union City along 85 northbound on that ramp to 285 east. The crash that was in the right lane is now off on the shoulder. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Eric Erickson.
If you want to take out the dominoes, you got to figure out which is the first domino.
The opinions expressed are his.
Where is the beginning of the domino chain to push to make all the other dominoes fall? That's Venezuela.
And that's what makes you listen.
This is one of the craziest stories I have read.
Eric Erickson.
There actually does need to be a law
Today,
here.
starting at noon.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
At D. Geller & Son Jewelers, they're proud of their incredible selection of engagement rings and wedding bands, but sometimes the best part about seeing so many styles in one place is getting inspired. Since 1939, D. Geller & Son has been creating custom jewelry from the ground up. With decades of experience and attention to detail, you can sit down with one of their jewelry experts, sketch out an idea, and watch it come to life step by step. Build a custom ring with D. Geller & Son Jewelers in Kennesaw or Sandy Springs, or online at dgeller.com.
You don't have to check the heat index to know that summer is here. That's right. It's time for long days filled with cookouts, pools, and travel. At All Care, we hope you're taking a break, but we're not. All Care is always available 7 days a week at 15 Atlanta area locations. And we offer online scheduling, same-day appointments, and availability for urgent needs and walk-ins. You can even get your pre-travel physical after hours or on the weekend. This summer, have fun and stay healthy with All Care.
Is your financial advisor managing your risk or just a spreadsheet?
Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. Many financial advisors rely on target date funds, which are one-size-fits-all portfolios that don't know your name, your family, or your goals. And that passive management can leave you dangerously exposed. At Trajan, we look at the whole picture, not just the stocks everyone else buys, but the private market opportunities most advisors ignore. And as fiduciaries, we build a strategy around you, coordinating your investments, tax strategy, and estate into one cohesive plan. Your financial life deserves more than just a generic portfolio. Real planning isn't a stack of statements. It's the confidence of knowing where your income will come from for the next 30 years. Good enough isn't good enough for your family. It's time for a change. Schedule your complimentary consultation today. Call 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Private equity investments require accreditation. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
The best trips are the ones you share. So get the whole family together to hike the trails, walk alongside dinosaurs, enjoy thrill rides at Dollywood, relax in a lazy river, and cheer for dinner shows, all in Pigeon Forge. Just visit the Great Smoky Mountains for incredible adventures and unforgettable memories that everyone will want to be a part of. Join the fun and plan your summer trip today at mypigeonforge.com.
Just call Sweet James at 1-800-9-million. Just call Sweet James, your accident attorneys.
Hurt in a crash? Call the attorneys at Sweet James, 800-9-million, and sweetjames.com.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
Did you know you can save up to $35 on your next fill-up? Redeem your fuel points for big savings at the pump. Exclusions apply. See site for details. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Finley Roofing, the roof guys, know that furry friends are family, and some need our help. In keeping with their connection to the community, Finley Roofing presents WSB's Dog of the Month. This Friday, we'll highlight a dog from Paws Atlanta. If you adopt them, Finley Roofing will pay your adoption fees. Listen Friday morning at 8:50 and visit WSBradio.com/dog. Dog of the Month is presented by Finley Roofing, the roof guys, Paws Atlanta, and 95.5 WSB.
On the Atlantic flight, I had ice conditions and general storm. On this flight, really no bad weather at all except a few little rain squalls.
On this date in 1928, aviator Amelia Earhart became the first woman to fly across the Atlantic Ocean. She completed a flight from Newfoundland to Wales in about 21 hours. Wonder how much it cost to fill up her plane back in 1928. Speaking of gas prices, great story, great for us anyway. Story on Bloomberg.com this morning that the nationwide price of a gallon of gas dripped below $4. First time since the war. Continue our team coverage from Bloomberg News. It's Jack Whittles. Jack, good morning. Thanks so much for your time.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
I mean, there's been some criticism of this memorandum of understanding, but I don't think anyone in the oil or energy industries right now is crying over this deal. How have the markets reacted?
Yeah, I mean, so it's the first time that the national average gasoline price in the U.S. has gone back below $4 a gallon, since March. Of course, prices are still a lot higher than before the war, so there is scope for criticism of the Trump administration on that basis, but it is still a win for the White House on the basis that prices are lower, and that will no doubt be welcome for a lot of Americans.
Refresh my memory, Jack. What was the highest barrel cost that Brent crude hit during this war? Did it get up over 125?
I will have to double check on that, but I can tell you that gasoline did go over $4.50 a gallon in the U.S., and the prices in Georgia at the moment are a bit lower. The average national price in Georgia currently $3.71 a gallon, according to the American Automobile Association.
And we caught a break for about a month of this war. The governor of Georgia, suspended the gas tax, so that was saving us, over 25 cents a gallon. That has since expired. We're paying that gas tax again. But throughout this war, watching the markets, we heard some doomsday predictions, depending on how long the war went, that oil could reach $200 a barrel. It looks like that's, I mean, you never know what's going to happen in the future, but it looks like we're not going down that path anyway.
No, I mean, the oil market has held up remarkably well. This was really a doomsday scenario, the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. And, you know, I'm just checking now how high oil got. WTI oil futures in the US, they didn't surpass $120 a barrel, and they're now back down to about 74. So yes, it's a combination of China buying less oil, the US releasing some of its strategic reserves, some people, driving a bit less, flying a bit less. So that combination of demand destruction, China buying less, strategic reserve releases, and some barrels, of course, slipping out through the Strait of Hormuz, and others being able to go through the Red Sea via the pipeline across Saudi Arabia. That combination has all helped to really keep a lid on prices, and it's not been as bad as I think many people feared.
Finally, Jack, you mentioned the Strait of Hormuz. Are tankers moving? We expect increased flow. What's the short-term and long-term future of transit through the strait?
Yeah, so it's not really a binary thing. They never completely 100% stopped, and there are still some tankers going through. Especially, and with the signing of the MOU, there is a wide expectation that those flows will ramp up. However, it would be premature. This is not a light switch. There are still mines in the strait, according to shipping trade group BIMCO. There are still lots of concerns around insurance and other technicalities to do with shipping. So in the real world, it will probably be a prolonged, gradual restart of flows. This is not going to be a return to normal today, tomorrow, or even this or next week.
Jack, unrelated to the Memorandum of Understanding, but World Cup, we're a host city here in Atlanta. How excited is England thus far?
Yeah, I can tell you that I definitely paid close attention to our 4-2 win last night. And, I don't want to jinx it by saying any more than that.
Understood. Yes, I am a very superstitious sports fan myself. Jack Whittles, Bloomberg News. Jack, great stuff. Thanks so much for your time, my friend.
Thank you.
There you go. By the way, do we have time for this? Yeah. A World Cup related story. Bars in Boston ran out of beer because of the World Cup, Deborah. Who drank all the beer?
The Scottish, of course. Have you ever drank with the Scot?
No.
I only know one, but I've hung out with plenty of English people, and they know how to put back some pints. And there's so many of them in Scotland that were there for the game that literally the bars did not have enough beer on tap for them to drink.
I saw them at a Boston Red Sox game, and they were doing their World Cup chants during the game.
Yeah, in the tartan
It was
army,
amazing.
yeah.
It was amazing. All right. So England won 4-2. Good job to our neighbors, our friends across the pond. All right, news, weather, and traffic at 3. We're going to update our top local stories and the very latest on the Memorandum of Understanding. Social media is up and active at Mark Ehrman at WSB Radio.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. One of our guiding principles is to provide great beds at a great value. Our goal is to prove this to our customers every single day. We believe in producing quality mattresses in our factory and selling them directly to you, eliminating the middleman markup. You can rest easy knowing that you're getting a hand-built mattress at a real value. Stop by a location near you. We're confident that you'll be able to see and feel the OMF difference for yourself. Learn more at originalmattress.com.
One thing I've learned in my 30 years here living in Atlanta, you do not want to wait until the heat hits to think about your air conditioning. Hey, it's Mark Arum here from my pals at Reliable Heating and Air. Now's the time before we get those 95, 100-degree temperatures. Now's the time to think about your AC. Right now, you can get any size AC, just $69.99 a month with 0 down. And with their Comfort Club, all future repairs, maintenance, even filters are included for life. That's what I have. Peace of mind with the Reliable Heating and Air Comfort Club. That's a real lifetime warranty, and it can save you thousands over time. They've helped over 250,000 homeowners, and with 24/7 service and next-day installation, or they'll pay you $500. They make it easy. Get your free consultation at reliableair.com and ask about clean air upgrades. Reliable Heating and Air, always here for you.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon?
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
When you're hit by a big truck, the truth is, you're not just up against a driver, you're up against an insurance company that starts building a case against you within minutes.
Here's what most people don't know. Trucking companies track every move that truck makes. That data can win your case if you get it fast. That's where we come in. For more than 25 years, we've given people like you the power to fight back and win.
Get the strong arm. Call attorney John Foy and Associates today.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11 o'clock. I'm Veronica Waters. The news this hour brought to you by TE Certified Heating, Plumbing, Cooling. Our WSB's top story, damp weather and winds are shutting down the FIFA Fan Festival today at Centennial Olympic Park. Originally slated to close at 11:30 tonight, it's now open from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. today, and fans won't be allowed to enter the festival after 2 p.m. This, as WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says, heavy rains are headed our way today as Arthur, the first named tropical storm of the season, comes up from our southwest. Arthur will be making its presence known today.
Heavy rain will arrive just in time for the evening ride home, but the worst of the storm may likely be between 7 p.m. tonight through midnight, and then all of this moving out by early tomorrow morning.
It is now 79 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. WSB's meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast straight coming ahead. DeKalb police join a grieving mother in a renewed push to solve a murder from 2024. Here's a report all new at 11 o'clock.
30-year-old Xavier McClary was shot and killed protecting a woman at the Plush Club in March of 2024. Chief Greg Patrick wants the public's help identifying 3 witnesses.
These individuals are not being accused of any wrongdoing at this time. We simply believe that they may have information that will help us identify the person responsible.
Xavier's mother, Chantal McClary, says her family needs closure.
Since that day, every morning has begun with the same heartbreak and the same unanswered question: who did this and why?
Any tips to investigators can be made anonymously. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
A New York man is facing federal cyber stalking charges after posting AI-generated nude images and racist messages from fake social media profiles. This coming in from the U.S. Attorney's Office in Atlanta. U.S. Attorney Theodore Hertzberg says Anthony Belford waged a lengthy online campaign targeting a Georgia college student. He used nude images generated by artificial intelligence during a 3-month online harassment scheme. The Supreme Court is siding with a Texas man who was caught with both a gun and marijuana in his Dallas area home. Ali Amani admitted to being a daily smoker and was charged with breaking a federal law that bans drug users from possessing firearms. But today's opinion says that his prosecution is inconsistent with the Second Amendment. It is a loss for the Trump administration. It was the same law used to go against Hunter Biden. President Trump says a memorandum of understanding between the U.S. and Iran has been signed. Correspondent Matt Bradley reports he confirmed the signing as the G7 summit wraps up in France.
There had been reports that he and other leaders had signed that deal on Monday, several days earlier. It was unclear whether this signing was all that different. But the really big news that came out last night is that the administration actually allowed for a copy of this memorandum of understanding to be released publicly.
That memorandum includes the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz as an easing of financial restrictions against Iran and expectations moving forward regarding discussions on the country's nuclear program. More Georgians are working as the state sets a new employment record. The Georgia Department of Labor says the state's labor force reached an all-time high of almost 5.5 million last month. Total employment sets a new record at nearly 5.3 million people. It's 11:03. The Mark Arum Show continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, it's live team coverage of traffic and weather with Alex Williams taking over in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Hey, good morning, Veronica. And good news in Marietta. That earlier police activity crash investigation 75 southbound at South Marietta Parkway, exit 263. It has cleared. All lanes are back open, so good news there. Still pretty slow, though, as you make your way out of Kennesaw. As those delays improve, I just stick with 75 south instead of using any alternates. Elsewhere, south side perimeter crash also cleared on I-285 eastbound, the outer loop near I-85 in the airport area. And still watching some volume out of Duluth into Norcross in Gwinnett County, 85 southbound, Highway 316 down toward Indian Trail Road. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Heavy rain and thunderstorms rolling through this afternoon through late tonight. As much as 1 to 3 inches of rainfall likely for the metro Atlanta area, as well as wind gusts around 40 miles per hour. Today's high is 85, lows tonight in the low 70s, drying out but still cloudy for tomorrow, high around 82.
Right now it's 82 degrees in Cartersville, 80 in Kennesaw, and 79 in Midtown Atlanta at 11:05. More news at 11:30, breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
No, I want this town to be near you.
11:05 on No Surprise here, an extremely busy news day Thursday. Welcome back, friends. Mark Arum and crew with you till noon. Coming up in 30 minutes, Deborah's got tickets to give away to see Bob Dylan. And then right after that, the legend, Gloria Estefan. Estefan? I'm going to hammer that. Yeah, Gloria Estefan is going to join us live. She is in town. An amazing show going on right now at the Alliance Theater. We are awaiting a White House news briefing with Vice President Vance. I'm assuming it is going to discuss the memorandum of understanding with the war. So if the vice president pops up at the podium, I'll bring that to you live. Real quick, I'm not getting paid for this. I just tried the Arby's new Philly cheesesteak sandwich. Heard, Vinny. It's very. I got you just the roast beef slider.
Wait, which one you say you got?
I got the Philly cheesesteak.
Philly cheesesteak? Where did I get a?
You got a roast beef. Well, you've never had Arby's, so I wanted
to.
The roast beef's pretty
good. It was
good.
some flavor. It was some flavor on that.
Yeah. Listen, Arby's. The younger generation doesn't know about Arby's.
No, I don't.
So listen. If you're from Philadelphia, don't DM me. No, it's not freaking whatever Geno's. All right. But it was really good Philly cheesesteak from Arby's. And it's a local outfit. Support your local Arby's. Here's a hot take from Arby's. Their crinkle cut fries are better than their curly fries. I said it. I stand by it. Their crinkle cut fries, Deborah cares none about this.
I've never had either one.
Are elite. They have elite.
I've never seen two choices of fries from one restaurant.
And you can get potato cakes. Anyway, enough. Arby's is. I'm a fan. I'm a stan, an Arby's stan. All right, let's continue our team coverage of the Iran war negotiations. The memorandum of understanding signed, sealed, and delivered. Getting reaction now from Batul Zamani, the president of the Iranian American Community of Georgia. Batul, good morning. As always, appreciate your time.
Good morning. Thank you for giving me opportunity to talk to you.
All right, so I need to get your reaction. You and I have talked, for about Iran for a long time, going back to the protests against the regime. What is your main reaction to this memorandum of understanding?
Yes, the people of Iran want peace. They don't want war, bloodshed, or instability. It's been a long time that the people of Iran is presenting no war, no appeasement, and then the third option. Just recognize the Iranian resistance and Iranian, people to defend themselves against this tyranny. And the reality is that, both Sheikh, who is a religious dictatorship, and son of the Shah have sought to use war for their own political goals. The ruling clerics have long used conflict in the region and crisis to preserve their grip in the power. At the same time, the Shah's son has presented war and foreign intervention as a path back to the power, hoping that Iran's future could be handed to him on the silver plate. platter. But what Iranian people want, there are 2 executions yesterday. They are asking that in the peace, talking, the human rights should be one of the talk, that Iranian regime has killed 700 people in last 2 months, in the last year, since the start of this year. So I don't know if you have seen the 6 member of MEK that they have sing a song in Qazal Hisar, prison.
No.
And yes, that was viral. 6 member of MEK, they sing a song for the in support of the resistance, and they said, "You can kill us, but you cannot kill the flame."
But let me jump in for a second, because I think you and I have been on the same page for day one that the best case scenario for us in Iran would have been a regime change and a path forward to a democratic Iran. This memorandum of understanding doesn't seem that that's going to be an option in the near future.
Yes. I don't know if you heard or not. Last week, student uprised for one day to show the world that if it is peace, we are still, the nightmare of Iranian regime is Iranian people, is not foreign intervention, is not foreign war, because they know that the Iranian people has the organized resistance who is fighting with them since 1981, and since first they become into the revolution, and we do have the biggest gathering. 100,000 of the people will have it in June 20th. Actually, I'm going to go to the Paris for June 20th. This is the same time in 1981 on June 20th that 500,000 people uprised to be against the Iranian regime, and Iranian regime suppressed them and killed so many of them. And in 1988 massacre, he executed over 30,000 political prisoners. So the Iranian regime is afraid of Iranian people and their resistance.
Still, even after this.
In the war, the bombard was coming to Iranian regime. And what Iranian regime did, execute. Every 3 hours, Iranian people execute. So this is going to tell the world that the Iranian regime is not afraid of the foreign war. The Iranian regime is afraid of their own people.
Interesting. Batul Zomani, president of the Iranian American Community of Georgia, joining us live on the Mark Arum Show. The resistance, you mentioned the number one thing that the Iranian people want is peace. Do you think that they feel maybe let down by the United States? Because we heard President Trump, say many times, even before the war, that, hey, America will have your back. This signing of the memorandum of understanding, it doesn't seem like that assistance will be there for the protesters moving forward.
Yeah, but the protesters, in Iran, regardless of backing up of the war, they will continue to have the resistance. The resistance unit is still fighting with this regime. From the day first, the Iranian people, they did not want a war. They said that the war is not the answer. Do not appease this regime. Iranian people, with their own resistance, they have the power to get rid of this regime. If you remember, right before the war started, the Iranian people, they went out, millions of them, and they chant against this regime. An Iranian regime execute and open fire on a street.
It was bloodbath, total bloodbath.
Yes, bloodbath, yes. So with all of that said, Iranian regime knew, and they are 50,000 political prisoners in the prison right now that Iranian regime said that they're going to execute them all. So all of these, when you put it together, you realize that Iranian regime is not afraid of any foreign intervention, anything. They don't want peace in the first place. They didn't want the peace because the peace is going to bring the nightmare for them.
The revolution.
And nightmare is revolution.
Let me ask you this, Batul, because of this memorandum of understanding, sanctions lifted on Iranian oil, they can start selling it right away. There's billions of dollars there, up to $300 billion could be funneled back to that regime. Do you trust the regime with those billions of dollars? Do you think they'll use them appropriately to build back all of this destruction, or are they going to use that money to keep the people down and still fund terrorist organizations like Hezbollah and Hamas?
Yes, so let me go back to the history that President Obama gave them so much money. What happened? Their proxy become more and more in the region. Giving money to Iranian regime, it means that we are buying the proxies, more proxies. The Iranian regime, they don't care for Iranian people. And they don't care for what is happening to Iranian people. So, unfortunately, the money is not the answer. The only answer is that be firm with this regime. This regime is scared of being firm. And that's why this regime is really frightened of Iranian people because under resistance. Mrs. Mariam Rajavi said in her speech, the president-elect of Iranian National Council of Resistance, she said that, we are hoping this peace will be more toward of the third option, which is recognized of the Iranian resistance, Iranian people, and, for them to have the right to be against this religious dictatorship. Because with this regime, you cannot go only chant. You have to have the weapon in your hand to fight back with this regime.
Batul, final quick question. I'm so sorry, running out of time. The chief Iranian negotiator said on Iranian state TV that Iran had achieved complete victory over both the United States and Israel. Do you agree? Is this a complete victory for Iran?
No, of course not.
No, okay.
Iranian regime is always saying that we have a victory over everything. If you look at the history of Iranian regime talking, they always said that we have a victory. That is not true. The Iranian regime is very weakened, and the appeasement of this regime is not going to take us anywhere. We need to, when we are talking in the peace negotiation, the human rights should be first thing that we put in the table in front of the Iranian regime. Yesterday they execute two young, resistance units who have been uprising at the time of the, bloodshed that they had in Iran.
There you go, Batul Smati from the Iranian Institute of Georgia with a reaction. Obviously a still developing story. We will get updates throughout the day here, and I'm sure Eric Erickson is going to talk about it. You know what I always say? The Gloria Steinem quote, Deborah, that we saw. Are you going to pass the torch to Eric Erickson? No, I'm going to hold my torch and light others' torches. Love that.
Yeah, that was good.
Love that. All right, couple of travel stories before we hit a break. This is not good. If you want to pay less for airfare, apparently JetBlue is shutting down some big routes and airports.
Yeah, so it's JetBlue. They're going to pull out of Newark and LaGuardia. Now, they're still going to have flights there, but they're taking all their staff out of there. So if you were an attendant that was based out of there, that's not going to be an option anymore. And they're really focusing on South Florida. That seems to be the place where... So no more Newark and LaGuardia for the staff that are there. They'll have to go somewhere else, but you'll still be able to fly there.
What were your initial reactions to the newly revamped LaGuardia Airport that we flew in and out of?
I don't remember the last time I had been there.
Yeah.
It's been like 10 years, so I can't remember, but it was a very, very nice airport.
I'm stunned at how, LaGuardia was a very convenient airport when you're flying to New York. Go see my buddy in Queens or Brooklyn, but it was not a good airport. It is phenomenal now. They did a great... I don't even want to know what the cost was. That had to be in like a $5 billion revamp of LaGuardia Airport. Anyway, JetBlue, I thought they would pick up steam after the other low-cost carriers went out of business. One more. Ronald Reagan Airport. Don't fly into Reagan in D.C. on July 4th.
Well, you're not going to be able to because they're going to stop all flights. Actually, the 3rd, like at halfway through the day, middle of the day, they're going to stop flights, and they're not going to pick up again until July 5th. And that's because there's so much activity happening around for America's 250th birthday that they're not going to be able to fly anything with. They're going to have parachute, like the military is going to be doing flyovers, plenty of fireworks, so no flying in and out of Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport.
So Dulles will still be open,
Dulles,
I guess?
it says, will be fine, but not Ronald Reagan.
There you go. Heard, as the kids say. Speaking of America 250, what's the latest with the America 250 concerts? Deborah will update us on that after we check the ride around town at 11:19. Hello and good morning to Alex Williams.
Hey, good morning, Mark. Watching the volume in Midtown, downtown, 7585 southbound 17th Street. A lot of that is all those people trying to make their way to Atlanta Stadium or Mercedes-Benz Stadium, getting off at North Avenue and William Street. As a result, North Side Drive is a very slow. Ivan Allen Jr. Boulevard, all those roads in and around Mercedes-Benz and Centennial Olympic Park. Stay away if you're not heading to the game. Consider Martyr or rideshare. Elsewhere, still watching a little bit of brake lights on I-85 southbound in Gwinnett County. It's just volume leaving Highway 316 in Duluth as you head down to Beaver Ruin Road. Traffic brought to you by John Boy & Associates, personal injury law firm. After a car crash, nothing feels the same. Who do you have in your corner? Get the law firm that has experience and results. Get the strong arm, attorney John Boyd. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
He's the guy at the desk next to you.
Get over He's your co-pilot for the ride home.
Because he's a man and he can get things done.
Yes. Eric Von Hessler.
This is something that the feminist will not deal with.
Today at 3.
Yeah, I know. You don't care about anything. What do you care about? What is it that you care about?
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
By popular demand, D. Geller & Son is extending our Watches and Whiskey event through this Saturday, June 20th. We've gotten so much interest, we've had so much fun, and we still have some incredible timepieces and whiskey tastings when you make an appointment. We have pieces from Rolex, Tudor, Breitling, incredible sport models, chronographs, one-of-a-kind things that we've never had before, still here and ready to view. You can come in anytime this week or Saturday, or make an appointment online at dgeller.com. It's not just a chance to browse more incredible rare timepieces than you'll see anywhere else. It's also just a great way to spend a day, especially before Father's Day. Come look at everything we have and just have a great time. And you might just find the perfect timepiece you've been looking for without waiting on a list. That's D. Geller & Sons Watches and Whiskey event through this Saturday, now extended in Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and RSVP online at dgeller.com.
Affordable jewelry for everyone is at D. Geller & Son.
You don't have to check the heat index to know that summer is here. That's right. It's time for long days filled with cookouts, pools, and travel. At All Care, we hope you're taking a break, but we're not. All Care is always available 7 days a week at 15 Atlanta area locations. And we offer online scheduling, same-day appointments, and availability for urgent needs and walk-ins. You can even get your pre-travel physical after hours or on the weekend. This summer, have fun and stay healthy with All Care.
Your home. It's where you live, sleep, eat, and breathe. Shouldn't it be healthy and safe for your family? To be truly healthy, your home needs to be bug and critter free. Who knows what germs they bring in your house? Hey, it's Mark Arum. I trust Breda Pest Management to protect my home inside and out because a pest-free home is a healthy home. Do not settle for the 5-minute outside only, hey, spray and pray approach to pest control. That is not protection. That's not a healthy home. Some other companies have given up on the inside of your home, but not Breda. They know a healthy home requires protection inside and out. It's the gross, germy bugs inside you want gone. So let the local folks from Breda in, and they'll keep those pests out. Breda, they handle bugs and critters for a truly healthy home. BREDA Pest.com.
Breda, Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
This weather won't last forever. Soon summer will be here and you'll go from always shivering to always sweating. And if your AC barely made it through last summer, Castile Cooling's here to fix any HVAC issue now. And for a limited time, get a precision tune-up for just $79. But if you're in need of a new system, save big with up to $2,000 in free comfort upgrades plus 0% interest financing. So start now and avoid getting stuck with season passes to Sweatland. Book CastileAir.com today.
Let me guess, you had a window company come out, sat at your kitchen table for 2 hours, And by the end of it, you felt trapped in a price that made no sense. I hear that story every single day. Hey, it's Ray, founder of Window Comfort, and we built this company to be the opposite of that experience. No pressure, no games, no inflated pricing, just factory direct windows and honest pricing backed by our unlimited warranty. And right now, we're stacking it. Buy 2 windows, get 2 windows free installation, and no payments until 2028. You can finally see what windows should actually cost. You have nothing to lose and everything to save. So go to windowcomfort.com and book your free, no-pressure estimate today.
Better prices, better views. Window Comfort, meant just for you. Window Comfort.
The best trips are the ones you share. So get the whole family together to hike the trails, walk alongside dinosaurs, enjoy thrill rides at Dollywood, relax in a lazy river, and cheer for dinner shows, all in Pigeon Forge. Just visit the Great Smoky Mountains for incredible adventures and unforgettable memories that everyone will want to be a part of. Join the fun and plan your summer trip today at mypigeonforge.com.
Hey, it's Shelley Winter. Your vehicle is one of the biggest investments you make. So after an accident, why trust its repair to someone focused on cutting costs? At RJ's Auto Body Plus, they believe the repair should protect your vehicle, not the insurance company's bottom line. For nearly 20 years, families throughout the area have trusted RJ's Auto Body Plus in Marietta because they don't believe in shortcuts, cheap parts, or rushed repairs. With over 40 years of experience, they know what proper collision repair looks like, and they stand up for their customers every step of the way. They work with insurance companies daily, but they work for you. Whether it's a newer vehicle, a luxury vehicle, or simply a vehicle you care a lot about, their mission is simple: restore it safely, correctly, and with the quality you deserve. RJ's Auto Body Plus, because your vehicle deserves more than a minimum. Call 770-955-5020 or simply search RJ's Auto Body Plus.
On this date in 1977, Dreams by Fleetwood Mac hit number 1 on the pop chart. Great song. Fleetwood Mac, are they performing at the America 250 concerts, Deborah?
Unfortunately, Fleetwood Mac will not be there.
Who will?
You know, no Milli Vanilli, no Vanilla Ice either, but CBS and Macy's are going to be having their own 4th of July parties with Blake Shelton, Salt and Peppa, Noah Kahan, Zach Brown Band, John Patiste, who you just talked a couple weeks ago.
Let me stop you right there. I'm so sorry, Deborah. Vinny, can we go to the CNN Vice President Vance speaking at the White House briefing? In a second, we will hear from the vice president for just, you know what? We got to go to break anyway. I'll monitor that. I'll go through news. I'm sorry, Deborah. I didn't mean to interrupt. Anything else we need to know about the concert?
And if you were going to miss the other concerts, there's 2 options. CBS, Macy's, they'll have a bunch of different varieties: country, rock, pop, a little bit of everything.
I thought Vanilla Ice was sticking. Oh, they
canceled the whole thing.
President
remember?
Trump just canceled the whole thing. All right, Vice President Vance speaking at the White House. We'll monitor that, see what he has to say about the memorandum of understanding with Iran. And coming up after news, weather, and traffic, we'll update that. And Gloria Estefan joining us live, only here on the Mark Arum Show.
Buying a pre-owned vehicle is a big decision. It should feel exciting, not overwhelming. From a $5,000 starter car to your dream car, we have options for every budget. Beaver Toyota and Beaver Mazda, the safest place to make a big decision.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You deserve a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Switch today. Get started for $60 a month for 12 months when you add an advanced solution to a qualifying internet package. Limited time offer. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and autopay with bank account required. Taxes and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Just call Sweet James at 1-800-9-million. Just call Sweet James, your accident attorney.
Sweet James, the only firm to call if you're hurt in a crash. 800-9-million and sweetjames.com.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell.
And I'm Monica Pearson. Dale and I have worked together for years, first at WSB, and today helping you find Georgia's best companies and sharing why they're the best.
Monica, one of the first companies I researched and recommended is Amco Transmissions and Total Car Care. For more than a dozen years, they've consistently met my 7-point standard and honored my Make It Right guarantee. And I know you believe in Amco just as much as I do.
People who follow my advice literally stop me on the street and thank me for referring them to Amco.
We all need mechanics we can trust for correct diagnosis, efficient repair, and fair price. Not just for transmission repair, but engines, brakes, check engine lights, and so much more. Call the locally owned Amco near you.
And I know their nationwide warranty protects you everywhere.
That's AA.
MCO.
Proud supporters of iPaw Rescue, a nonprofit founded by legendary business activist Carl Icahn, where 100% of donations go to saving dogs' lives. That's AA MCO.
Kick off the summer with a stress-free way to sell your home with the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. You'll save time, make the most money, and eliminate all the hassle. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11:30. I'm Veronica Waters. The news this half hour is brought to you by Rocco's European Garage, your dealership alternative. WSB's top local story, FIFA Fan Festival is closing early today because of the inclement weather. Today's World Cup match in Atlanta is between Czechia and South Africa. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says Tropical Storm Arthur is churning toward Georgia from Texas, and it's going to get pretty wet and pretty gusty.
So how bad is this storm going to be? Well, it's mainly going to be a heavy rain event. A lot of us are going to deal with some areas of flash flooding. Some of us may deal with some damaging wind gusts that could knock down some patio furniture or even knock a few trees down. There's an isolated chance for tornadoes here in metro Atlanta, but flash flooding is the main concern for the majority of our region.
The Fan Fest shuts down at 3 p.m. and closes doors to new visitors at 2. Be sure and stay with WSB for continuing team coverage of the developing weather this afternoon. A DeKalb County murder from 2024 remains unsolved, and there is now a renewed effort to get justice for the 30-year-old victim. Chantel McClary is the mother of Xavier McClary, who died at the Plush Club on South Rainbow Drive.
Xavier was murdered in a crowded nightclub, protecting a female friend who was being aggressively accosted by an older man.
Police have posted pictures of 3 individuals who saw what happened, as well as a photo of the man working the door that night. They believe these folks could help identify the shooter. They're asking for the public's help, and tips can be anonymous. A reward is also on the table now to help solve the case. Charges are filed against 2 Metro Atlanta women in a pandemic fraud case.
The suspects were working through a temp agency and assigned to the Georgia Department of Community Affairs when they allegedly carried out that fraud. The state attorney general's office says 44-year-old Jasmine Grant of Jonesboro and 56-year-old Teresa Davis of East Point used the identities of 3 other people to file for pandemic rental assistance, taking more than $36,000. They then allegedly put that money directly into personal bank accounts. Both are charged with identity fraud, while Grant is also charged with making false statements. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
From the U.S. Attorney's Office in Atlanta, a New York man accused of cyber-stalking a college student in Georgia. Federal prosecutors say Anthony Belford allegedly hid behind spoofed social media and email accounts to harass, intimidate, and cause substantial distress to his victim, posting racist messages and AI-generated nude images during a 3-month online harassment scheme. A federal grand jury has returned an indictment against Belford on 1 count of cyber stalking. From promising numbers to not so promising, a new survey from Wallet Hub finds many Georgians are struggling to pay down their debt, even as employment in Georgia hits a real high.
The financial education website says Georgia comes in at number 12 among the states when looking at where people are the most delinquent on their loans. The site said that in Georgia, the percentage of total loan balances that were delinquent in this year's first quarter was nearly 8.4%.
Meanwhile, the Georgia Department of Labor says the state's labor force reached an all-time high of almost 5.5 million last month. It's 11:33. Live team coverage of traffic and weather now with Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Still very crowded on Highway 41, Cobb Parkway through between Kennesaw and Marietta, Veronica. A lot of people still avoiding 75 where we had it shut down earlier at South Marietta Parkway, but that's long gone, so no need to take Highway 41. Stick with the interstate. That will save you time getting down to I-285. Elsewhere in the Midtown, 75, 85 southbound slowing 17th Street down to North Avenue and William Street, where lots of vehicle traffic is exiting to make their way over to Atlanta Stadium for the World Cup match. This starts in just a little bit. And on the south side, I see some brake lights, 75 south, just volume through Stockbridge from 675 as you pass Hudson Bridge Road. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Heavy rain and thunderstorms arrived this afternoon, continuing through the late night hours. As much as 1 to 3 inches of rainfall likely, leading to flash flooding concerns, and a few damaging wind gusts can't be ruled out. Today's high is 85, lows tonight in the low 70s, drying out for tomorrow with highs in the low 80s.
Right now it's 79 degrees. More news at 12 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
We've all been there.
Bumper to bumper all the way back before.
Counting the minutes before we know we're going to be late because we couldn't count on a traffic app.
Crash knocks out 4 left lanes, including the express lane.
There is one thing you can count on. Triple Team Traffic on WSB.
3 right lanes shut down.
We know the highways. We know the streets. And we know the shortcuts.
Avoid the area by taking Buford Highway as an alternate route.
And all you need to do is listen.
More experience.
More reliable. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Triple Team Traffic.
95.5 WSB. How Atlanta gets there.
Last night, 12.5 million barrels of oil went through the Strait of Hormuz. That is a
Still
high.
to come, we're monitoring J.D. Vance speaking at the White House on the Iran agreement. Coming up next, Deborah's got tickets to give away to see Bob Dylan and Gloria Estefan live on The Mark Arum Show. Straight ahead.
Belinda Skelton here, and I'm with Troy Pensa. Took me up on my free offer of a heart scan from Virtual Imaging and has an incredible story to tell.
I had actually signed up for an Ironman triathlon. As a proactive measure, I went to Virtual Imaging to get my heart scan done. Turns out that my score was a little higher than anticipated. Luckily, my primary care physician took serious notice of it, referred me to a cardiologist. I had my stress test and found out I had 3 blockages.
You weren't having any symptoms.
As an athlete and somebody who's been active my entire life, I never thought that I would even have a remote blockage, but turns out that it's hereditary.
You didn't even experience any chest pains?
None whatsoever.
Wow, that's the scary part. What are you waiting for? Call Virtual Imaging today for your free heart scan with few minimum requirements. If not for yourself, then do it for a loved one. Call now at 770-678-SCAN or visit their website at virtualimagingatl.com. 770-678-SCAN.
Hey friends, it's Mark Arum here. Do you want peace of mind when it comes to your home's electrical system? That's kind of a big deal. I want you to do what I did and schedule an appointment with Reliable, a company you can trust. An amazing limited time offer. Keep your home safe with a 79-point electrical safety inspection that identifies loose wires, worn breakers, corrosion in your panel, or outdated smoke alarms. Only $49 for real peace of mind. Book an appointment online at reliableair.com or call or text 770-594-9969.
Between the daily demands of work, family needs, running a household, and more, you deserve some real relief at the end of the day. At the Original Mattress Factory, we have a wide variety of mattresses that are built to provide the ultimate in comfort and relief when you need it most. Mattresses that are hand-built locally using high-quality materials. Mattresses that are sold factory direct to offer you a great value. Mattresses that are designed to provide real relief to real people like you. Visit an Original Mattress Factory location today and get the rest you deserve tonight.
My uncle's Maytag washer lasted over 37 years. His motto, buy once, cry once. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello. When I started A1 Garage Door Service, I thought about my uncle's Maytag. Most garage door springs get about 10,000 cycles or 3 to 5 years. Our Max Life springs last over 100,000 cycles. That's a minimum of 30 years. From repairs to upgrades, call A1 Garage Door Service today or schedule online at a1garage.com.
A1 from day one.
Insurance companies are like shifty magicians. They'll dismiss, downplay, and deny to make your claim disappear. Smiler Mark McKay for John Foy & Associates. The strong arm figured out their shifty tricks, so you have every advantage. JohnFoy.com.
He packed in the animals 2 by 2, ox, a camel, and a
11:38 on this fast-moving edition of the Mark Arum Show. Vice President Vance now fielding questions at the White House briefing room after the memorandum of understanding was signed. We'll get to Vice President Vance in just a second. First and foremost, Deborah, we have an amazing pair of tickets to give away.
Tickets to see Bob Dylan at Synovus Bank Amphitheater at Chastain Park on July 31st.
All right, let's do Darius, I'm going to take it easy on you, kid. Ninth caller. Caller number 9 to 404-872-0750. Caller number 9 to 404-872-0750 wins a pair of tickets to see one of the greatest singer-songwriters of all time, Bob Dylan, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show on 95.5 WSB. Vincenz, let's pop up to the White House briefing room. Vice President Vance talking about the memorandum of understanding with Iran.
The GCC wants either. So what we're going to do, of course, working with our allies in the region, is to ensure that that is reflected in the final deal. And if that's not reflected in the final deal, there's not going to be a final deal. And that is, I keep coming back to this fundamental structural point of this negotiation, which is that we have all the cards. If the Iranians want the benefits of the bargain, they have to give us the things that are necessary to get those benefits. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President.
We'll do both. Okay. Both you guys. There's one in the white and then one in, orange, I think.
What about the pink?
I'm sorry? Okay. Maybe I'm colorblind. It looks more orange to me. I don't want to have a debate about that. Orange, pinkish. You go first, and then in front of you can go second.
President, thank you, Mr. Vice President. How does the points about granting some immediate waivers on sanctions, especially from the Treasury Department, how does that square with the Iran Nuclear Agreement Review Act? And are you planning on briefing Congress on this portion?
Yeah, so I talked to James Braid, our head of OLA. We do plan to brief Congress very soon. I believe that they got the formal copy of the signed document this morning, and if not, they're going to get it at some point later today.
All right, you've been listening to Vice President.
That's Shady Vance. He says the 60-day negotiating period begins today. We'll continue to monitor what has said. I was able to pull the audio, Deborah, of the beginning of what J.D. Vance, the vice president, had to say. Let's play a little of this as he stepped to the podium at the White House press briefing room.
American people. Last night, 12.5 million barrels of oil went through the Strait of Hormuz. That is a high since the beginning of the conflict. Oil prices are down nearly at their level from the pre-war conflict. Gas prices dropped below $4 a gallon today for the first time since the conflict. And importantly, they're going to keep falling further given how low oil prices are. On the military side, the Iranians, for the second night in a row, did not shoot at any ships in the Strait of Hormuz so far. They are honoring their end of the commitment. And on the blockade, CENTCOM has allowed north of a dozen ships to go through our naval blockade, and so we're also honoring our end of the early part of the agreement. On the military side, a couple of things that are still true and will be true whether the Iranians comply with the rest of the deal or not. Number one, their nuclear program has been completely destroyed. Their capacity for enrichment, the facilities at which they were using to develop enrichment and develop a potential nuclear weapon, those facilities are still destroyed. Their conventional military is still destroyed. Their capacity to threaten their neighbors is still largely gone. And now we see whether they are willing to comply with the next step of the president's peace plan. As you all know, the part of the peace plan, the part of this MOU that I think have been most misrepresented by certain parts of the media is the idea that the Iranians get all these benefits. You will hear things about $300 billion or $24 billion or this or that number of money or amount of money. And the simple fact is that the only way the Iranians get any of those resources, not a single penny, by the way, from the United States of America under any circumstances, but the only way that they would ever get any benefit of the bargain is if they comply fully and change their behavior. And so you really have a win-win situation for the United States of America. If the Iranians don't change their behavior, their military and their nuclear program is still destroyed. If they do change their behavior, then they are going to have a transformative relationship with the Middle East, and the Middle East will have a transformative relationship with the people of Iran. That's a win for the American people and for the President of the United States, regardless of which option the Iranians ultimately choose. We obviously want them to choose the right option. The interesting thing about their system, and I think it's important for the American people to appreciate this point in particular, is that there are real divisions within their country about how exactly to proceed. And what we've seen over the last couple of months is that the pragmatists within the Iranian system, the people who really do want to transform their relationship with the Middle East and with the world, those people are winning the argument. The United States wants those people to win the argument. The United States wants to have a better relationship, but in order for that to happen, the Iranians have to perform. And if they don't perform, as we've said before, they don't get any of the benefits of the bargain. So what I'd ask all of you is just to report honestly that the United States isn't giving up a cent of money to Iran, and even the economic benefits, the sanctions relief and so forth that comes along with this bargain only happens if the Iranians perform.
Vice President J.D. Vance moments ago at the White House. I think there's some stuff in there that I want to just quickly talk about. I think what J.D. Vance, the Vice President, is saying is something I said earlier. This is not the final chapter with Iran. This memorandum of understanding opens up the 60-day negotiating period. A lot can happen. I'm not shy. I did not love the memorandum of understandings outline. It didn't address no money going to Hezbollah and Hamas and the Houthis. President Trump stated back in February 28th that he wanted to get rid of the missile program, the ballistic missile program in Iran. That is not in this. The cessation of fighting, if Hezbollah keeps attacking Israel can't. There's a lot of things I don't like. But again, this is not the final chapter. We'll see where the negotiations come back. Now, J.D. Vance saying there, the vice president saying no U.S. tax dollars are going. Well, none went with the Obama deal either. That was the release, the unfreezing of Iranian funds. That's the same situation here. And there were plenty of critics from the Obama nuclear deal, but that was a minuscule amount of money. It was a big amount of money, but compared to what the benefits possibly that Iran could get, that's a minuscule amount. But anyway, I think it's also noting, Deborah, and President Trump flying back from Versailles. I'm sure he's exhausted. He had a rough schedule the last couple of days. But the fact that it's J.D. Vance fronting this, J.D. Vance was the one that negotiated this deal. I think there's a non-zero chance that President Trump's like, well, people don't like this deal. I'm going to lay it on the lap of my vice president. That's what vice presidents do sometimes. They have to fall on the sword. I guess we are not going to hear from Gloria Estefan. Is she at the World Cup?
Maybe
match?
she went down to the World Cup match. I'm trying to see if I can get an update on, but...
Can you pretend to be Gloria Estefan?
I don't think I could fake a Cuban accent well enough. I don't want to offend anybody.
Well, it'd be widely inappropriate if I tried to imitate Gloria Estefan, but maybe reschedule? I don't know.
I'll see if I can reschedule.
Yeah. All right. Maybe she heard me fanboying earlier in the show. She's like, that guy's a psycho. I'm not going to.
I think she saw your dancing. And she was
By the way, yeah, I didn't even get, I was going to save the dance for when she came on. So maybe we'll do that tomorrow. This is a fantastic local story. Fernbank History Museum, whatever the official title is. Vinny, we used to have our Christmas parties at Fernbank. We used to be rolling in it. Now we don't have Christmas parties. No. But Fernbank, I love Fernbank. Fernbank acquiring a new what, Deborah?
They got a new exhibit. It is called T-Rex, the Ultimate Predator. If you love dinosaurs or know someone that does, this is kind of a new look. It's not just the big skeletons that we've seen everywhere else. This is actually going to show you like what it was for a T-Rex's life. So like the smallest, a 1-year-old T-Rex, and how it would grow to its largest size, and the strength of the teeth, and how tiny little arms that they had, and it's really like the full cycle of a T-Rex.
What are the scientists that study dinosaurs? What are they called?
Paleontologists?
Like I think a majority of them hate that the T-Rex is like the most famous dinosaur because to them it's one of the least interesting. But we're just fascinated with them.
Yeah, we like it. It's so different, right?
Yeah, exactly. All right, good there. And good news, I guess, for Kristi Noem. She has a new job now.
I guess she's got a new job. It's a kind of a strange title here. Let's see if I can find the actual title of it. She is going to be a special envoy to the Shield of the Americas for Canada. So she has crossed the border. She's going to be working in Canada as a special envoy to the Shield of the Americas.
Does it say where in Canada?
British Columbia, so out on the West Coast.
I heard Montreal is phenomenal.
Montreal is phenomenal.
I need to get
completely
to Montreal.
opposite coast.
Yeah. All right. Apologies from Gloria Estefan to the listeners. Maybe we'll get her back on. That's a shame because I really wanted to talk to her. All right. And when we come back, the latest on what Vice President Vance had to say at the White House right now, though, Let's check the ride around town. Any current hotspots, Alex Williams?
Watching a slow go of it on the west side perimeter mark, 285 southbound. The outer loop brake lights find you just below South Cobb Drive, exit 15. It's all just volume trying to get down to the I-20 interchange. All that construction going on, trying to get onto I-20 westbound, slowing you down there. We're trying to alleviate the pressure in Midtown is 75, 85 southbound, still seeing some brake lights, 17th Street. A lot of that trying to get off at North Avenue and William Street as people make a very late push over to Atlanta Stadium for the World Cup match. And I-20 eastbound in DeKalb County, you're slow on that collector distributor ramp from 285 to 20 East, getting over to Wesley Chapel with left lane construction on the collector distributor ramp there. Traffic brought to you by ReliableAir.com. If some rooms are already warmer than others, your system's not distributing air properly. Visit ReliableAir.com. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Hey folks, Mark Arum here. All next week at 10:12 a.m. on the Mark Arum Show, I'll have your chance to make your summer a little better. You can win a $150 gas gift card, a $150 grocery store gift card, and a free HVAC checkup from Reliable Heating and Air. Stock the fridge, fill the tank, and make sure your home will be comfortable all summer long. So make sure you're tuned in at 10:12 a.m. for your chance to win. Get details at WSBRadio.com.
A family office is a team built to handle the three biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today, 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-611-2046. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-611-2046. That's 800-611-2046. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Is your termite company playing games in your yard? First, it's Where's Waldo, because you never actually see them inspecting. If you do finally spot them, they're aimlessly wandering around playing hide and seek, trying to find bait stations.
Hey, it's Mark Arum with Matt Breda from Breda Pest Management. Matt, what's with the hide and seek of the bait station?
That guy walking around your yard is supposed to be checking bait stations about every 15 feet. But in reality, they often don't know where your bait stations are anymore. And worse, they're not even checking inside your home where the worst termite damage is done.
If termites are eating your house, how would they know just by walking around outside?
Exactly. Switch to Breda for total termite protection inside and out. Plus, your termite rate is locked in for 10 years.
Breda, Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz, and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no, and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. solutions. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now. 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Is that a flute, Deborah?
Flute piccolo?
Yeah, either way. That is the Taxi theme song because Carol Kane turned 74 today. She played Simca Gravis on the legendary show. I had a crush on Carol Kane for a long time. I was like, she is too hot for Latka Gravis. Simcoe is too hot for Latka. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Apologies again. We were not able to get Gloria Estefan on the broadcast, but we'll try to circle back and get her back on the show. Let's end the show with a crazy DUI story, Deborah. I'm not going to judge because I've never actually tried this beverage, but this is a pretty interesting story.
All right. Well, of course, it comes out of Florida, right? And a man in Florida was pulled over and charged with a DUI after police, state troopers even, found 34 open cans of White Claw in his car.
34
cans of open cans of White Claw. So maybe he was drinking them, tossed them in the back, but like they pulled him over because he was speeding. He was going 90 miles per hour, and then
did they get him to blow?
0.17.
All right, that's way over the legal.
Yeah, 0.08 is the limit.
You ever had? I've never had a White Claw, Vinny.
I think I've had a White Claw.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. My mom's listening.
You're old enough. Yeah, I've had them before. I'm not really into those canned.
Yeah, I can't judge, but that I can judge that zooch ball for drinking and driving. Does the judge what you're drinking when you get pulled over for DUI? Like, it's
beer versus like regular
you were
Coors
drinking
or something?
Pappy Van Winkle compared to 34 White Claws. If I was a judge, I would judge in that respect.
Now you know because of the Mark Arum Show.
The Iranians are not committing to pause enrichment. They're not committing to dilute or hand over that nuclear material. They're not committed to taking apart their nuclear facilities or handing over all of those advanced centrifuges.
That's Jordana Miller. She joined us from Jerusalem with a reaction to the region to that memorandum of understanding. Now you know.
So it's the first time that the national average gasoline price in the U.S. has gone back below $4 a gallon since March. Of course, prices are still a lot higher than before the war, but it is still a win for the White House on the basis that prices are lower, and that will no doubt be welcome for a lot of Americans.
Jack Whittles joined us live from jolly old England with the good news when it comes to gas prices and oil prices here in the United States. Now you know.
Yeah, but the protesters, in Iran, regardless of backing up of the war, they will continue to have the resistance. The resistance unit is still fighting with this regime.
President of the Iranian American community of Georgia, Batul Zamani, with her reaction to the deal. Now you know.
that it doesn't take much for Iran to be able to disrupt and strangle off the Strait of Hormuz. Just a few Boston whalers, zipping around a tanker can cause all kinds of chaos, and that's going to be a concern going forward.
In depth with correspondent Rory O'Neill on the future and current state of the Strait of Hormuz.
Are you guys ready for the Mark Arum star of the show?
Man, we had a lot of candidates today. Batul, Jack Willits, Jordana Miller, Stephen Portnoy. I'm gonna go with Darius on the phone. Not only did he do the phones today, but he pulled some great audio. Where's my bell? Darius gets a star of the show. And Vinny, I hope you're not mad. Your mom is getting star of the show. Via the Piccadilly text line, she said that Vinny's dad used to have a waterbed. We discussed waterbeds early. So Mama Drip and Darius.
Drip. New York, Mama Drip.
There you go. They get stars of the show. Big stuff tomorrow, obviously. Follow us on socials at Mark Arum, MarkArum. Stay safe. Have a great Thursday, Atlanta.